I've just seen him play sometimes, like my games, and yeah, he has hands at least.
He has hands. What does that mean?
Positioning.
Some people have hands.
Yeah.
I assume a lot of people who play TFT have hands.
No,
You know
Robin, hold him up. Robin doesn't have hands.
I don't feel like that. Like
no hands.
I have hands. I have hands.
He's not bad. He's actually not bad.
I actually think people underestimate Robin's APM. I think it's sometimes he thinks slow, but I think his APM can be pretty good.
Yes. Also, yes. I think I'm getting slower though, low key.
Yeah, I think you are.
He's actually pretty good. He's pretty good.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Don't Talk If You Don't Know, the unofficial official podcast dedicated to covering all things high-level teamfight tactics in North America. Today is a special day. It is November 19th, 2024, and this is episode not only 58, but it's also our conclusion of set 12. We usually do like a wrapped episode to kind of recap everything, but it's also the final episode of the series. After today, we're going to go on an indefinite hiatus. We're not saying that it'll never ever come back in forms of specials, maybe a reunion, right? Maybe we do something down the road, but functionally this will be our last episode, and it's going to be a really long one. So I hope you guys packed your bedtime routine and ritual stuff, your sleeping bags, your pillows, your popcorn, because it's gonna be a good one, but it's gonna be a banger. My name's Frodan. I'm your host. As always, is my co-host Bryce Esports Long Blum. Bryce, welcome back to our final episode.
Yeah, it is good to be here. To say I've been looking forward to this would be quite the understatement. I have really been looking forward to this. I usually Dan like preps the whole show, and he prepped this whole show too, by the way, from an Assassin's perspective. But I was much more involved in like thinking about the content, because I feel like, yeah, I probably will be back on a reunion thing or a special episode at some point. I hope I come back and do something, but I won't really be plugged in. So I feel like this is kind of my like final thoughts. And believe it or not, guys, I know this is really off brand for me, but I have a lot of final thoughts. And they probably won't be very short-winded. So, I mean, you probably thought you had seen my yapping final form, but I promise you have not. This will be my final form, because every other time it felt like, well, I was going to get to yap again later, but now I don't. So I'll probably just try to leave it all on the table. Hopefully that's okay. And feel free to just, spam me in chat when you want me to shut up.
All right. Sounds good. We're looking forward to it. We have two guests for this portion of the show. One thing that's going to be interesting, we're going to have rotating guests in and out. It's going to be a little scuff production. So if you're watching along the video side, as opposed to like watching or listening on audio, webcams are going to be a little bit hard to manage because we're using Discord. Our first is a guest who's been here for a very long time, and also the reigning regionals champion, the only person who has ever won 2 regional finals ever. It's Robinsongz. Robin, welcome back to the show. The rookie of the year in 2021.
Yes, thank you for having me. Glad to be on this. I don't know how many times I've been on the show. Do you know how many times I've been on the show? I'm guessing like 3.
You've been here at
Maybe
least 5
4?
times.
No, bro, way
at
more than
least
3.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, way more than 3 for
So
sure.
I would assume this is probably your 6th time being on the show.
Yeah, that would be my
No,
guess
no.
as well. Yeah, I think so.
I can even look it up while you
And
introduce yourself.
Robin,
again.
you're probably, if you're not the highest guest that we've ever had in terms of numbers, you're really close to it. Because remember, I reached out to you about the preview episode for regionals because we wanted to guarantee you were going to get on the show one more time, and we couldn't do that if you didn't do well at regionals. But you like decided to go to the Arcane premiere, and you couldn't do it. And so I was like, well, Robin, you just have to go win regionals, so then we can have you on the set wrap show. And you were like, okay, I got it, and then you did. Worked out great.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I love the show. Sad that it's ending, but I believe it'll come back. I actually believe it'll come back.
All right. We also have another special guest. We got Milk in the house. Milk was our 2nd ever episode, so it's only appropriate he's our 2nd to last guest ever on the show. Milk, welcome back.
Hello, I'm Milk. I play TFT for Team Vitality.
That's right. Milk has actually only ever been on 2 episodes for Don't Talk If You Don't Know, if you can remember that.
Really?
Yeah. The very first time you ever appeared, and then you didn't, and then you made a special appearance for an esports episode with Sherman, which doesn't really count. And then you came back last set for the preview with Prestivan for regionals.
And just for the record, Milk, how can you say really? We asked you so many times, and you were always like, nope, not doing that. Nope, not doing that.
You guys picked the worst time to ask me, man.
No, we asked you like multiple times a set at some points, man. Like,
Okay, well, now that it's gone, I
time.
kind of regret not coming on more often. I really appreciate what you two do for the community.
Oh
Aw,
wow,
thanks,
there
man.
it is. There it is.
Wow, if
That's
we
great. You
started
don't
off with Milk saying the most wholesome thing, it's gonna be an episode.
yeah.
Oh, but I have to balance it out with the Mortal claim later.
Yeah,
for
I feel
sure.
like it's all downhill from here. We peaked early, so it's been great having you, Milk. Thanks for joining us, and I guess we'll
Oh.
see you around.
Okay.
All right, it's been a heck of a journey here for set 12. We're gonna do things in like 7 phases. Okay, there's like a 7-phase episode. It's a full-on omakase chef recommended selection menu tonight. So for the appetizer, to start things off, we're going to go ahead and probably recap some of the stuff that's been really important, which is the Worlds and Regionals finals. So let's first kind of go back and reflect on Regionals itself and start things off with, again, something we mentioned before, which is congratulations, Robin. Sorry about the black screen flickering. I'm not sure why that happened. Robin, congratulations. You won a second Regionals, the first time we've ever had that in NA. You also got a really cool trophy. Can you show the trophy off?
Yes, I will. Courtesy of Riot Games, I got a Golden Spatula trophy. I was actually pretty bummed we didn't get anything for winning set 5. But that was very, very on the early onset of TFT. Because like you would watch like all these esports things and like they would play stuff in person and then like you would win. There's like confetti and stuff, and then you like raise a trophy. I've always wanted to do that. But then when I won in set 5, I was just like screaming in my bedroom. And then set 12, it's still not land yet, I guess. But they sent me a trophy. Pretty cool. So
Hey,
thank
you're
you,
moving in
Riot.
the right direction.
Yeah, when I first got it, they sent it to my mail and I opened it and it was like a huge suitcase that was like looked
Sick.
super sus. It looks super sus. Like it was like a suitcase with like 4 locks on it. And I was like, wait, what the hell is this? And it was like from Riot Games. Like, oh, it's probably the
Wait,
trophy.
do you
But
have the
yeah.
suitcase still? Did you say the suitcase?
Yeah.
Go
you
grab
wanna
it. We
see
need to see that shit. Yeah, we definitely need to see that.
Wait, Dish Soap's in chat saying the Golden Spatula trophy is better than the World's trophy. The World's trophy
Did
just got a
this one get a
crown.
regionals one?
I haven't seen the crown, or maybe I've seen it, but
Oh, well, that just makes me feel like you never watched my podcast with Dish Soap. You wore it for
It's
the
like
intro.
oh, I
it's like a
didn't. Yeah,
bulletproof
I listened
like
to it.
suitcase. Super
Oh,
huge suitcase.
wow. Okay.
That's super legit.
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
That's actually crazy. They didn't want anyone shooting up your suitcase.
I'm assuming they
Yeah.
just need to protect it, right? Because that whole spiral
Yeah.
breaks so easily in shipping.
Yeah, and a spatula. So I got Golden Spatula from Summit, but I donated that to a charity.
Yeah.
And it went for like a couple $1,000s. It was actually crazy. I don't know who has
Wow.
it now.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. It was Cutie Cinderella's like auction thing.
Oh,
Yeah, and I put a Golden Spatula and it went for like $6,000 or something, and someone
that's
bought it.
great.
I mean, wouldn't you want the 2021 Teamfight Tactics Rookie of the Year Golden Spatula? I feel like that's
was
like
the
it's like
omelet.
a baseball card.
omelet making competition winner.
Oh, I thought you won it
Oh,
for
from Summit?
Never mind.
The
Yeah, it's
rookie
from
of the
Summit
year
for-
thing.
Oh,
The rookie of the year thing
Wait,
was
you won
Esports
that?
Awards, right? And he didn't
I
win.
see.
He got nominated for.
Yeah, I got nominated. I didn't win anything. Yeah, I
Nah,
didn't
but
win anything.
I mean, he won in our hearts. It's all good.
He did for sure. It's
Yeah.
the only TFT thing that's ever been nominated for that. We've never had someone nominated for best player. We've never had anyone nominated for broadcast talent. It's only Robin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Robin, real quick, I think we talked about this in the post game interview, but just for people who didn't hear that, where does this win rank up for you? Is it the same as the first time you won? Is it sweeter? Is it for any reason like not hitting you nearly as much because maybe you're focused on Worlds? Like where does it rank all time for you? You won many tournaments.
yeah.
That's something people don't really actually realize in history. You've actually won many tournaments.
Yeah, I think I said this. I think it ranks third. The first one was set 5 because I just like quit my full-time job and then like I think I was signed to Team Liquid. And then I went like 1-1-1, which is like crazy. And then I was like super hyped and I was like younger. So it was that will always be a special
I was younger.
memory.
Yep.
And then the second one, I think this is probably the second one, but like in an interview, I said the second one was when I played Box Office Bootcamp and I was like couple ranks behind Dish Soap and I streamed like 13 hours and I passed Dish Soap literally the last game and
Yeah.
Dish Soap said he would like show his feet if he lost.
What?
And so he ended up streaming with his foot like a foot cam. So it was like that was like really funny and also really hype. So that's probably like second and then this is probably third. I don't
Second
know
favorite
why.
moment, yeah.
By the
Yeah,
way,
I don't know why this is like not first, but yeah.
that really reinforces. I've been saying for years that I think that we need to be making like the ladder tournaments a thing, like basically try to create these hype moments out of ladder, because the fact that you rate that moment for the box boot camp more highly than you do your second regionals win says a lot, because it was really hype at the time. Like, I think it makes, I'm not surprised by that. It was so exciting. I went to sleep because I'm old and I thought you didn't have a chance either. And I woke up in the morning. I was so sad that I missed it. I woke up to like a billion messages from people being like, this was fucking insane. It was so good.
It was really crazy. And I remember just was in call with me watch partying that.
Right.
And because everyone was like, oh, the Avengers are queuing up. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. And then just was just getting tilted watching everyone have terrible boards, and Robin just gets free 100 streak. And just was like, man, the Avengers suck. And he just left call. So yeah, good times, good times. Not on this PC, but on my other PC, there's a folder of their soaps toe cam, just so I have that.
Nice.
It's just back, you know, when you go into business, somebody got to have some blackmail in your back pocket. So
I like it.
I got that. All right, Milk, you got second at regionals. You tied Robin. In fact, this actually almost defined the entirety of your back end season, kind of like 1.1 placement here. But just talk to me about how set 12, like regionals, felt for you. Regionals is always the highlight of your set, so I was curious how it was playing this time around.
I mean like final lobby or like.
Just like, did you what are your thoughts on regionals? Like, how did it go? Did you feel like you were in good form?
I felt like it was a decent form, but I feel like the final lobby was like, you know how you're all going to Worlds?
Yeah.
Like, I feel it's not exciting when everyone, like, because like all excitement's like the day before.
I agree.
Yeah, we actually had a really unique situation.
Which is like, it was like zero pressure. So like, it's like kind of like relaxed.
Got it.
Because I remember in set 5, I was so hyped to go second.
Okay, and this time it didn't feel as good. What did you feel? You were just, because actually you were telling me the night before how excited you were. You were like really hyped on Saturday for making it.
Was I?
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah, I didn't have the day before because like I feel like the end goal is like qualifying a world. So it's
Robin,
like,
it was the same for you, right? You were hyped on Saturday but not Sunday.
Yeah, I was hyped on Saturday. That's why it's kind of weird, because like you're hyped, but you have to play another day, and you're playing for prize money. So I think it, like those two emotions got kind of. That's why it wasn't that crazy, because like if it was like getting hyped on Sunday and you won regionals, whatever, and then it would have been like,
how much differently
hype,
do you think the final lobby plays out, and this is for either of you, if it had been stakes? Like, let's say there were 3 world spots on the line, but that was it, and you had to finish in the top 3. How much differently do you think the day goes?
I don't think I would have won. Like, I think I would have gotten like a little bit nervous. I think playing without nerves is like super, like, I mean, everyone would have been nervous, but like, I feel like I still would have made it. I mean, top 3. I think I still would have made it to Worlds. I don't know if I would have won though. Also, I feel like, I feel like I just for the record, I feel like Milk and Spencer were actually better than me on this patch. But I think Milk got tilted from a bug. He got bug diff.
I didn't know about it. Like, no one told me about shit ever, man.
What was the bug?
I didn't know
what was the
either.
bug?
Game 1, 2, or game 2 or something?
No,
it was like the last.
It was the
Yeah,
last.
I didn't know you don't
item
get your
ladder.
item for one of the rounds. No one ever told me that. Yeah.
Item ladder. You don't get your item for one of the
No,
rounds.
I mean, like, who cares? Like, apparently it's a common bug. No one ever told me, so I'm like, shrug.
Got it.
Yeah, I don't know
got
any bugs
it. So like one of your items just like disappeared, is what I was told.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
It is.
Is it fine?
I just never knew. I don't know. I just don't. No, the thing is, like, it's fine if you know about it, because it's like I should know.
Fair enough. Fair
Every
enough.
bug in TFT.
Yeah.
Well, I've taken it 10 times. I guess like, because you know how when I play, I don't really like pay attention to game, so it's like I think I've taken like 10, 20 times or something probably. I just never noticed it.
Okay. Well, one thing that I want to pull up actually, and I don't, for some reason, I can't find the asset right here, but Robin, were you aware that this was actually not your doing? You actually didn't win regionals because just by your own volition, but actually because you were blessed by Casper Wu.
The truth is gonna be unveiled now. The reason why Milk, Robin, Spencer, they are really good this set because they revived 5.5. Set 5.5 just got revived yesterday. And you know who are the ghosts in set 5.5? That's Robinsongz. 1-1-1, leg 1-1. The Milk, the one trick clad almost won the world. And Spencer is the demon. This guy played Draconic for 1 turn and got 5-star. This guy got prismatic armament.
Before they were augmented.
Playing 1 turn of Draconic. This guy's a beast.
Kasparu actually predicted that it'd be a Robin, Milk, Spencer. And there's an image that there was made where the exact same placements from set 5 regionals were the exact same placements in set 12.
And there's something insane about the bookend of that, because we started this show at the beginning of set 6, right after set 5 regionals. So like one of the first things we were talking about is that like set 5 regionals and kind of building the storylines for set 6. So we like started and ended talking about the same people.
Yeah, I think we live in a, what's it called? Simulation. Yeah, I think we're in a simulation. Or Mortog can control the RNG. I'm pretty sure in the back. He has a secret computer. He can control the RNG.
It's actually eerily similar, which is exactly how it played out. So just to want to show you guys a little bit. Very fun.
I mean, this is actually insane.
Yeah,
it's cool to see that the prize money went up a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
$14,000.
It's double. Well, I guess it's really double for first place, and it hasn't gone up that much for beyond that, right? Because what was second?
Yeah.
Second was like 6,500 or something this year. Is that right?
Yeah.
So, but it's nice that first play you're playing for like a meaningful amount. In theory, you know what the problem is? The fact that you guys didn't feel like it was that hype means that the prize money difference isn't making big. It's for at least for a meaningful part of the field. It's not a big difference. I think Dan made the point. There's a few people who were very invested in going first place.
Yeah, and like you know, Sobio and Black Sheep, you know, they're talking about how the money goes a really long way in Brazil and Uruguay, wherever they are. But like obviously for you guys, multi-millionaire TFT players don't need it. So money isn't everything, and it's interesting because I think NA is the only region that feels that way. Sub-regionals are the same way. Sub-regionals never really took off in Americas, at least in NA. NA is the only region where like top players aren't competing. You look at Korea, you look at Vietnam, you look at China, Latin, Brazil, EU, everywhere else. All their sub-regionals is always the top players playing it, but NA is the only region where that doesn't happen. And I largely think it's just due to the fact that for them, it's really not about money for a lot of these players. So, okay, well, I mean, we can put the regionals to bed and move on and talk about Worlds. So for Worlds was a different story, Robin. What happened at Worlds for you specifically? You tweeted that you played it bad throughout the tournament.
I played so bad. Like, I mean, part of it is like I'm gonna blame it on the sleep schedule. It was like 180 reverse. As Bryce said, I make a lot of old man mistakes. Like the mistakes I made is like I know that's a mistake. It's not like I don't know what I did wrong. There's a lot of poor augment selection. Yes, a perfect example is I was playing Mage Soraka Seraphine reroll, and I know Lucky Gloves is like best in slot augment. It gets even better when you have TG, right?
Yeah.
I had Band of Thieves as my second augment, and I didn't know I had TG. So then I took another augment, even though Lucky Gloves is already good. I just forgot. Like in my mind, I was like, oh, I don't have TG, so it's probably not that good. So I took like the Golem instead. And if I took Lucky Gloves, like I would have gone. It was like a 5 placement diff. I also got super tilted. I don't know if you guys watched the first game, but I had like a guaranteed first. I had like Golden Quest into invested. I literally went fast 10. I got Morgana 2. I had like every 5-star legendary leveled up, and then like I also got bug diffed. You know how like sometimes when you put a spat on Tom Kench, it doesn't count. It didn't count it for one round, and I lost to Milk's like really not even that good board, and then I went 6 that game when it was like a guaranteed first probably.
Dude,
yeah.
Can I see something about that game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, do you know the worst thing is about the entire 20s? These Chinese players, they just stand in all the prismatic parties, all the like trainer golems, all the spat stuff, and there's so many of them in my lobby. I don't understand. Like they just like stand on most RNG stuff, and they just like
it's Giga high variance.
Not a problem anymore.
Like I remember that lobby, it was like 2 people tiny titans into Golden Quest, and like another 3 people had fucking artifact infill. And I'm just saying
that lobby was crazy. Like Milk's board is good. Like he's Jinx Wukong reroll, like really good.
No, I already knew on 3-2 I was 8th. I already knew I was 8th.
Yeah, where'd you go? You went 7th, right?
Yeah, because that's because like there's someone double hit flexible into True Wiss.
Yeah, I had my board was insane.
If you hit reverse RNG, you'd go first.
My board was insane. I was losing. I lost against the other Golden Quest player who Golden Quest 6 Shapeshifter Briar, and then I also was losing to a fairy board, a Callista board. When I had like Zerath 2, Morgana 2, I had 5 Preserver. I thought I was guaranteed first, and I went 6, so I got tilted. And it's kind of weird because like it's a new format where like you could play 2 games and just not play at all anymore, right? It was like 2 eliminate, 2 eliminate, 2 eliminate. What I should have done was like got a mental reset after the first game, but usually I do mental resets after 2 games. Like 2 mental reset, 2 mental reset. And then I played the second game really tilted. I picked the wrong augment and I was out of the tournament.
I see.
And then the first day I didn't play well either. So I'm pretty sure I lost like a total of like 15 placements. It was actually crazy. I played really bad. So yeah.
For what it's worth, I mean, for every time EMEA complains about their ping at Worlds, it's like it's not for everyone. Some people have degen sleep schedules. Some people are really young and or like aren't high sleep needs, and so it's not a big deal. But like, if you gave me the choice of playing Worlds on shitty ping or in the middle of the fucking night, I would take shitty ping every time. The middle of the night, I literally, it's so hard to function at that level.
Yeah.
And we joke about the age thing, Robin, but like that actually does.
No, it wasn't.
You're not old,
No,
but
it
it
is
does
age.
actually start to matter around this age.
No,
Like,
I realize sleep is actually really important for me. Like
Yes.
I've always had sleep problems, and I tried so hard to fix my sleep schedule to compete in NA, and then I had to do a complete 180 in 5 days.
It's like 4 days.
It's actually
It's less than
impossible.
that,
You can't do it.
I tried my best. I did it slowly. I did it like 2 hours at a day, 2 hours at a day. And then the last day I got up, I played like 1 game and I was so tired after 1 game. I was like,
so let
yeah,
the record
geez.
reflect that NA clears Worlds a lot of the time, and we're all doing it in the fucking middle of the night. Imagine how badly we would beat you guys if we were.
Okay, no, but the thing is,
playing,
APAC has such bad ping. It's like I don't know how APAC even plays. Like
yeah,
I don't
that's
know how EU
200
complains. Like you know when we played EWC and you play back in NA, it's like who cares, you know? But like for APAC, if you have over 200, it's like actually awful.
Dude, YBY over 200 ping was so fast. Like he's crazy.
He's timed it. He's actually like he plays around it basically.
Yeah, it's true. He's such a beast.
It's
like
cool.
YBY is such a beast.
All like the APAC players are so young. They're like barely 20.
Yeah, Title's also really young as well.
Yeah, and then
Um,
all the NA
Title
players
is-
are just like old people.
Title was really good at TFT, like really good at TFT.
That was
He
a
is.
beast.
I
He's a
mean,
stone cold killer.
by all
he
means,
goes first. He has no motion. He went
He's
first
the
1 game.
current-
He's just like,
He's the current frontrunner for GOAT, right? Like if we had to
Yeah.
bet right now, the Vegas odds on who winds up being the GOAT of TFT, like isn't it by a decent margin because he's so young and he's so motivated.
at EWC, I asked Casey Double who he thinks the GOAT is because it's always between Title and Casey Double, and Casey Double actually said Title.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was before he won Worlds. So
I'll take double over title, man.
Really?
why
I'm
is
taking
that?
Title.
Eye test.
Eye test. Okay,
Oh.
can you give I would love for you to be any way concrete about that. Like what did you notice that was different about that?
Bro, you asked me to explain something.
Come
you know
on,
me.
Milk.
Do
One
I
hey,
look like
Milk.
I'm not explaining anything?
Milk, one time. Let's do this.
I don't know.
One
Just
time-
feel, man. Just the vibes.
What if you tried one
Just
time? Because
the
our last, it's our
vibe.
last
Just
show.
what I've seen,
I'll
man.
never ask you a question again.
Just from what I've seen.
Okay,
He probably
but
saw
what did you
something
see?
Title. Yeah, what
Did you see a mistake that Double made?
Yeah,
Did you see
the-
something
Or no, I think he's
unusually
saying
cool
he
that
probably
Title
sees
made?
Title make mistakes. And to
Like
be
I know,
fair,
I
actually
haven't
do.
seen like
I do.
I haven't seen that many games, but like I only saw like a couple, like a small sample. Like, I don't like watching like 24/7, you know.
I think
I've seen
Title's
them play.
strength, and it actually plays really well, is just I really think he understands how to play for wins very, very, very well. He does make mistakes. We watched him make mistakes on the final day. In fact, I don't think Title was the best player in this lobby, or he didn't play the best in this lobby. This was actually something that this is good for you, Bryce. Checkmate haters can feast, because I'm pretty sure Title was like the 3rd or 4th best player in this lobby today. I think RY blew the door off of everybody. He's the rightful champion by a mile.
If you
He played like
outscore
Eldritch
the lobby,
from like the worst dummy spot, or it was like Wandering Train or something like that, and he like kind of cooked. And he played like an Eldritch, and he landed like very clean 3rd. It was like wow, he did some really impressive stuff all day. Yeah, Title should not have like one. But.
just looking at the numbers, I did not watch the World Finals. I watched the very end of the day. It's basically I'd wake up naturally and I would watch them. But to score 7 more points than the next highest person in 6
crazy.
games of TFT and not be
crazy.
crowned the winner of the tournament is a joke. That's
Yeah.
a joke. This is, by the way, we have at all the unbelievable like people who love this format, and I do understand doing this format for something like Vegas, but I've always hated doing this for the World Championship because, to be honest, this is just bullshit. Is what this is. This is what we did was we artificially created hype, but didn't actually artificially create hype. All it did was screw over the person that really deserved to win the tournament. That we could have highlighted the incredible TFT they played, but instead we're going to give the title to the person who went first last, as if that's like a reflective metric of it tests for some part of TFT. Like playing for first does matter, and I think that is a skill, but it's being heavily overvalued to crown the best player in the world.
Well, I mean, yes, but also in a game like TFT, you could also ask like that's a really hard thing to measure always, right? We're talking about who's the best player on Sunday specifically, as opposed to the length of the weekend, because it's not just like we should take total points. We should be keeping track of their points all weekend long based on what you're talking about, Bryce.
My POV on this topic has always been that at the very least for Worlds, you should treat it like a golf tournament, and it should be aggregate points. I want to know who's the best player of the weekend. And it works even better with this aggressive cutting format because they've solved the big problem where now everybody is incentivized to do well, right? So I think it becomes a much more interesting tournament, and I like I like crowning the actually best player. Like we all know that part of the problem with TFT is variance in sample size, right? That the game is like, gives you a really small amount of opportunities to prove how good you are at a patch, and you might get dealt a shitty hand, or you might get dealt something you're like not as good at, but other hands to be better at. So I like the idea of crowning our world champion like as fairly as we possibly can, and aggregated score is the fairest way you can get for this.
Robin, do you agree?
Yeah, I have a question. For golf, it's also like the final day, they already know who the winner is sometimes?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Functionally, yes. Functionally, yes.
But what's interesting about golf tournaments is like sometimes it is a blowout and that person chokes. It definitely does happen.
Yes.
And by the way, we've seen that in TFT as well. We've seen like replays, when he had the AVP lead by a mile and he basically just needed to go not dead last. Like we've seen, the Bobster flame out this time. Like Goobens is flamed out big time in final lobbies a bunch. So like that happens sometimes where you like have an advantage and you blow your advantage, and that creates great stories. But then other times it's like two people are running away from it. It's a great head-to-head story. Sometimes it's a group of people, you don't know who's going to win. Sometimes it is expected, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. Like I would, for when we're crowning the world championship, I would rather that sometimes you get a boring term, but you can celebrate that they were the best player and that was awesome. They were so much better than everyone. And it's really hard to be a lot better than everyone at the TFT World Championship. So I'm kind of fine with that as a trade-off in comparison to this.
I agree with Bryce. I think the argument against it is like it's not as hype, but I feel like it's gonna be more often than not that it's gonna be close. Like it's TFT has, I don't know why, but like TFT even at Worlds is like I mean this game wasn't that close, but like I feel like it's always like pretty close, at least between two people. I think it's actually very rare where like one person will already win by the last day. I think
and if they do, don't they like really deserve it? Like that's not just viral when you're gapping the field that hard.
Yeah.
Milk, what do you think?
Wait, about what? Sorry, I wasn't really paying attention.
About checkmate at Worlds.
I mean, the thing is, I think it's really good. Like, I mean, the thing is, if you like checkmate, you'll like 4v4, because I think like the best mode in the game is like 4v4, and every single game you play is like checkmate.
God.
No, I'm being serious. Like the best format in TFT is for sure 4v4, and I wish Riot would just take a chance and just for one set, just sack the main format, no solos, and just everything 4v4.
Milk, I just have to stop and reflect for a moment on. I think that is the most Milk answer to a question in the history, because Dan asked you a question about a 10-minute conversation we had, and then you let it off with what were you guys talking about? And then instead of answering the question, you just immediately pivoted to the only thing you want to talk about, which is that 4v4 is the best format of TFT.
No,
that was 10 out of 10.
And like, because it is like, and also it's like you also want the better person to win. Happens more often 4v4. Every game is checkmate.
We heard you the first time. Okay.
Even Setsuko likes 4v4.
That point is true. I think everyone here on this podcast likes 4v4. I think we can agree on that. And I think we can revisit that topic a little bit later on. I do want to say one thing to put the button on this conversation, which is this is not the first time that RY got scammed by What the Forge for a winning moment at Worlds. He got second in set 10 to Malala, who got What the Forge and won with a cash out for first place. So in a different parallel universe, RY is a 2-time world champion and brought China back to the map. But Malala and Taito with What the Forge, if there's one augment that this guy probably hates the most, It's
And
probably
Is it always
justifiably
all luck?
so.
I don't
At
even
first-
get it.
Yeah, at first I thought this augment was really cool, and the more I see it, the more I hate it.
No,
Because
it's
because
it's all
it's
luck.
literally
broken.
just you press a button and the variant
Yeah.
swing on what you get
Yeah.
from that button is insane. There's too many of these artifacts, there's too many combinations of them that are instant wins. And
Yeah.
then a lot of the time you just don't get those, and you can't stabilize. At least not the way the patch was played. A lot of patches.
So
It's
Riway
out,
went
though.
second
They took it out.
twice.
They took it out for set 13. Right.
Riway went second twice.
No, they added something that's literally the same thing.
Wait, so Riway's the GOAT. Isn't Riway's the Chinese GOAT or no?
He's I mean,
That's tough.
it's hard to really put a bunch. It's hard. You put a bunch of people in that conversation, but either way, he's an extreme. He's a very talented player. I feel bad for him. He's out 150 grand at least because he potentially could have won those.
Man, that's fucking brutal.
This guy is I would feel really bad for him if this happens again. But it's building up an interesting storyline where like he's like the best player that Checkmate has screwed. So
Yeah.
China says the GOAT is, or the best player is the Wolves guy. I don't know his name.
Li Xiao.
Yeah, maybe him.
Yeah, maybe.
Really?
him.
Someone
Wait,
on
Dan,
Wolves,
when
yeah.
the first time?
Oh,
when,
do you mean Ning Li?
I don't know who, but someone on Wolves. I don't know.
I'm just naming all
Was-
the players on Wolves. What's up?
One
was
of them.
he a point leader the first time that happened to him? When Malala did it? I can't
I can
remember.
check.
I'm just curious, like how badly he got screwed. I mean, if he was a point leader in that one too, that's pretty brutal. It's hard to be a point leader on the final day.
So Malala got first. RY got second. Ice got third. No, Malala was
Okay.
ahead.
I love that.
Malala won by 9 points. So
Oh, what a beast! Yeah, that's right.
Damn.
Dude,
yeah.
Malala's set 10 was
But it
fucking
is funny
insane.
because I
So
mean
insane.
it's just funny how it ended both of those ways because Malala had what the Forge, Heartsteel, and no one griefed him.
Malala was locked in. He was
Yeah.
locked in.
Yeah, I mean
Malala
Malala
was so
gaps
good at set 10.
that set really really hard. All right.
Imagine if Malala had gotten screwed in that set 10 worlds like this. Like if this had happened to Malala on the final day, that would have felt so bad.
Yeah.
He's had some pretty big bumps on the road instead of 11 and 12.
Yeah, for sure.
So I feel like he's had but I mean I guess he's at least won the championship, so he's had high highs and some low
Yeah.
lows. We'll talk about Malala a little bit more. This is going to be a show that also covers things like a historical rankings that's going to be coming up soon. But first, I want to get people's impressions on set 13. This is like the other big news. There's 2 other pieces of big news. Just want to get like a quick impression. Robin, you just were streaming set 13. How do you feel about it so far?
I think it's really fun. I've been playing a lot of PvE. I think it's fun. I think the balance is actually, well, I don't know yet. It feels not that bad for like the start of the set. You never know until the stats come out. And maybe I'm playing it like it's balanced. But I've just been playing like whatever my opener is, whatever my items is. I just play that 4 cost or reroll, whatever.
Yeah.
There's like 1 cost rerolls, 2 cost reroll, 3 cost reroll, 4 cost comps. The 5 costs are good, but you never know when stats come out. Having a lot of fun. I've been watching the show, so it kind of makes you want to play the characters.
It does. It
So
does.
it
does.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited. I think TF. I don't know about League, but I don't think League has like Vander and like those arcane characters, right? So
No,
I think
does-
that's crazy that you don't know that. But yeah,
real
a bunch
quick.
of them are new.
Did everyone here watch the show? Like, Bryce, did you watch it?
No spoilers because I had to catch my wife up on season 1. We actually just finished it, and now we're 2 episodes into season 2. So
Okay.
I haven't.
Did she like it?
I'm not all the way there. She's loving it, and this is a big deal. My wife didn't know any of these characters going in. Doesn't know anything about the game. Even though I'm like obsessed with TFT, she like can't watch the podcast. We're basically speaking a foreign language. She was like, she's tried a couple of times.
Right.
So it is actually, I've been begging her for a while, and she finally felt bad enough that she gave it a try, and she's been really enjoying it. It's awesome.
Wonderful.
It's so fun.
So there's hope. Hey, I think we just got it ticked up 1% in my mind for Bryce's return.
maybe she might play TFT now. She might want to try out the
Oh
characters.
shit, that would be a real twist. 'Cause
how would it be?
If
How would
Adrian
you
got into it,
feel
I
one
would
day?
get back in.
Bryce, where like where you go out and you're gonna go out for something, and then she's like, "Okay, see you later, honey," and then you're like, "Oh, I forgot something in the house," and you go in and you open up and you realize she was playing TFT while you were out. How would you feel about that?
I would immediately be like, "This is the greatest timeline," because I would be back. We would relaunch the show. I would get, because if it was a thing I could do with my wife, then I would play TFT like every fucking night. It sounds awesome.
Milk, did you watch Arcane?
Oh yeah, my girlfriend fell asleep though, so we're on it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it at least?
Oh yeah, I really like it. She doesn't like that Jace is a 5 cost. I think she doesn't like Jace very much.
I remember you told me that she hates that Jace is a 5 cost. That's
Yeah.
I expect. Okay, actually, no apology. I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah,
But
careful.
I'm just saying right now. All I'll say about season 2 is that it's taken so many different turns that I wasn't expecting it to.
Okay.
That I can't say anything definitively about the characters, right? Whether you love or hate them, because you just don't know what's going to happen by the end. They've done a really good job masking what's going to happen, and I feel like I'm usually pretty good at guessing where the writing is leading towards. So I think it's been pretty interesting. What do you think about set 13, Milk? What do you think about the set so far of TFT?
I don't like the fact that they just did such a bad job like writing the description of like stuff. Like like stats are
Okay,
gone
we can start with
basically,
that. Yeah.
and then like like the how do you say that word anomaly?
Yes, that's how you say it.
So basically, like half the things are so undescriptive, and there's no stats for them. So you basically have to try them all at once to even know what they do. So for example, right, I took an augment that says your unit goes away for 6 seconds and comes back and sends support, right? It doesn't go for 6 seconds. It goes away for like 9 seconds or 10 seconds or something like that. And there's another augment I took today is like your unit doesn't move, but it pulls the enemy to you or something, right?
Yeah.
I took that. Like the thing is like doesn't tell you that there's a delay on like how long it takes you to root and stuff like that. So I took it on and put on my mill unit, and it just stuns. It sits there and it just takes like a year for it to like do anything.
And you
Like,
think
it doesn't describe anything. Well, it just says the nominee, and there's no description of it whatsoever. So you have to pray what it does.
Okay. So I've played a lot. I think I've played like 90 games with PV or so, maybe even 100. I don't get that same impression. I think what you're describing is the anomaly effect isn't working as intended in some situations.
Oh no, I've just taking like the ones that make I don't understand. I take them and like you read it, and it just makes no sense.
Okay, but wait, Milk. I think it is fair to use this as a forum to give feedback, but I am curious. Are you enjoying this set? Is the set good? Like I can't tell because you're always going to go to what you would want to improve. Which
my current thing is like there's so many augments that just like force. I'm not sure, but like that just force into one. I don't know why, but I feel like more than ever, there's been like so many like trade augments. You know, or no? You know what I mean,
I don't know if that's true. Or
I
if it's
don't
just
think that's actually true.
I'm just picking them more often, probably.
Yeah, or you're just you just remember more things that are happening recently, because in the past that was also true. But there's also fewer augments back in the day. There's more augments now than ever before. That's another thing too.
But wait,
there used to not be trade augments.
Wait, so that's another thing you would like to see different, which is fair. But I honestly can't tell. Do you like the set? Do you not like the set? Like, where does it fall?
Okay, the thing is, like,
early, but
I mean, I don't like the fact that you like 2 champions on 4-2, and you just like
the hero augments, yeah.
Yeah, like those sometimes I just have jinx items in Violet. Like I just have jinx items, and it's like I don't know, feels.
Milk. Okay, let me rephrase this. If I asked you about the previous 10 sets, I know that
okay, I mean, the thing is, I think it's much worse than last set. It's better than 10 and 11.
Better than 10 and 11.
Okay.
Worse than 9.
Okay.
Better than 8.
Okay. All right, we did it. Thank you, Milk. I appreciate it.
All right. So it's up there. It's up there. It's good.
Okay, but the thing is, like, I feel like it's just so hard to know what something does if it's bugged or what it really does because the description is like so vague.
Well, this brings us to another really important topic, which I could bring up. This is our last of the appetizer course, if you will, which is that one of the big things that's recently happened to the TFT community is that stats are going to be removed from match histories, which, as you guys know, means that the stats sites can't parse through match histories in order to collect augment data. And that means that there's effectively an augment stats ban. And also people are saying, well, what happens if these stats sites navigate through it? Like MetaTFT has a first party app, for example. Could they just do that? No, they're not allowed to publish it, or else they're going to, risk rooting their relationship with Riot. And that's not worth it in the long term, just to get, just to stick it to them for like one patch of stats. And also I believe that they want to clamp down on black market stats in general, which is a big part of people's concern. And this is probably one of the biggest changes that will ever happen to TFT competitive. I don't know about TFT the game. I actually think that I can just start things off and just say this. I'm pretty sure this doesn't change anything about TFT. And some people want to say this is the death of TFT. I think that is a self-report that you have no clue about anything about how games work in the industry or player base or player behavior or marketing or longevity or health of the ecosystem. Like, you know nothing about it. But I do think that it changes TFT competitive forever. So I want to hear people's take. The first person we'll go to is Milk.
Yeah, let's let Milk. Yeah.
Okay, I guess this is like really bad for people who want to have like work-life balance or like casuals like me, because I don't really want to play more than like 4 or 5 hours TFT a day, right? But the thing is, now you have to,
that is casual. It breaks. That hurts
but now you have to
so
know
much.
what like all these random augments do. Like you have to know all the bugs in the game. Like how am I supposed to know if some random augment just doesn't work? You know what I mean? It happens pretty often.
I mean, yeah, it just happened to you at.
Right, I mean, I think this benefits players like who grinds the game 60 hours a day and doesn't look at stats anymore. I think this benefits Setsuko's the most out of everyone. The guy just plays the game and doesn't look at stats. He I don't know. He just plays the game 24/7 and never looks at stats.
Is that a bad thing?
No, it's not. No.
So just
it's rewarding you
if
for
you
like
were to
working
reward.
harder.
I just want to set the question. Is it bad to reward people who put more time into playing the game?
No, it's not.
Okay.
But it's basically just like a knowledge gap now. It's like you just have to know.
I love that you use this word knowledge gap, because I'm pretty sure it is the new buzz term, like bag sizes or what's another one, Bryce? Hit me with another like buzzword that people latch onto. Lazy game design. It's like they just say like it's like this catch-all term to try to communicate an argument that I think that they can't even back up. So tell me, like, knowledge check, like what how do we define the difference between knowledge checking and skill in TFT? Because I think a lot of people are really conflating the two and just thinking that they're both the same thing. But in reality, there's a part of TFT where your skill expression is based on your knowledge of the game. So
okay.
Are you what
like how is knowing some augment is bugged like supposed to be a part of the game?
Okay, Milk, can I answer this question? Because I think I will probably answer it a little bit more directly than you, at least based on past precedent of this episode. But I think I agree with you for what it's worth, Milk. So Dan, I think that there's things you get rewarded for in TFT because you just know them to be true, and things that lots of decisions that you make that are not black and white throughout TFT. And I think that the non-black and white answers tend to be the more skill expressive, and the black and whites tend to be the least skill expressive. And so I'm totally cool, by the way, rewarding the black and whites. Like, I think there's a lot of value to setting some form of a knowledge check. If you're going to be elite at this game, you actually really, really need to know like which units are stronger and like what items to slam and a whole bunch of different stuff. And that matters. That's important. You need to know what lines to get on, how to approach them, what are the different combinations of the boards. Those are all knowledge checks too. But I'm very interested in the other stuff, and I'm interested in the other stuff more, is what I would say. So I think what it comes down to with augments specifically in this context is that I think they tend to push a lot of this type of black and white decision making, where it's like, do you know that this hero augment is broken? Like, do you know that when you're on this line, this augment is really broken? And I don't know that that's something that you can really intuit is the thing. Like you have to have experienced it or know the stats. And so the people who experience are going to get an edge that I think it's not that interesting thing for me, from my perspective, to test for in the game.
Except you're right. Except the caveat is that people would never really discover this without the stats, right? And it also is self-reinforcing in that way. Yep. It's because that knowledge check doesn't exist without you parsing through the stats, a player revealing like, hey, these combinations are specifically broken, and now everyone's doing it. And so that is revealed partially by the stats. And so what's happening now is there's more things tossed out of that black and white, Bryce, which I don't think is a bad thing necessarily. It actually creates more, because we're starting from different origin points. Some people want the game to feel like they have the solved answers before they load up. Like let's take like another game, for example. Like, would you prefer to play a game like Slay the Spire knowing where are the auto take relics? And a lot of players would say no, because they want to learn and understand that journey and part of it. But TFT, there's such an engaged, hyper-competitive set of players that want to know, well, if I come across this relic, I don't want to feel bad for like not picking this relic on my journey to climb the spire. So I think that I mean, obviously we understand both sides of the argument here, but I do feel like this the specific term knowledge check is starting to bother me, because I'm starting to feel like people like are actually just using that as a catch-all term to just see like, well, now TFT's less skill expressive for some reason, or they're just using it as an excuse, when in reality stats carried them. I think stats carried a lot of their skill. They didn't actually have skill. They actually,
I think that's fake.
they dedicate a lot of time to just reading stats and just knowing the answer and memorizing. How is memorizing a bunch of things considered to be? It's mixed into their results and skill. I actually think a lot of players are actually in that boat. Not everyone, but there's definitely a decent portion of them.
Milk, I'm curious. Why do you disagree?
Wait, I feel like no one's gets carried by his stats, because basically everyone knows his stats. So it's like everyone knows it. Now it's just like whoever spends more time knows it, and who has friends.
I think this is good for the game. I think it's good for the game. I know both. I can see both sides of the argument. It's going to nerf people who are like not, or like, I think the game gets solved way like, I think the game is getting solved way too fast. I think the argument is like, it rewards people who, like me, who play this game full time. And then it's like a nerf to people who don't have that much time, right? I know they want to brand TFT as like, oh, anybody can come in and like win, right? But like, aren't you supposed to reward the people who spend more time on it? Like, aren't they supposed to be better at the game if they spend more time on it? Like, for example, like basketball, like if you play basketball longer, like you should be better than someone who just plays 1 hour a day and memorizes, like, I don't know. I think it's good for the game. I think it's actually a nerf. It's like a nerf and a buff to me, because like I get to spend more time on the game, but I'm not intuitive at all. Like, I don't know if I just read this, I don't know if this is good for the comp. I think someone like Asa or like Sox is probably a buff to this for, because like they can just read something and be like, oh yeah, this is probably good. Like Dishsoap will probably know as well. But I think overall it's like a net positive, I think, for the game. And I don't think casuals will not play because there's no stats. I don't think it's gonna affect it at all. I do think some people who don't have that much time to play it will be kind of sad because they feel like they can't keep up or they need a study group or something. But
I mean, those points are hard to disagree with. I also see a take in chat very often that 99.9% of the players use stats wrong. That doesn't matter. The fact is that 99.9% of those players still use the stats and follow the stats, and more importantly, create perception around the game of how it's played and how it should be played through it. And you're going to be like, well, there's skill in deciphering versus that. It's like, part of what augment stats do, kind of what Robin was talking about, was that it also consumes the rate of burn for how much you enjoy the TFT set. And part of the reason why there's such a weird paradox of like people wanting nonstop content in TFT with patches, like you guys complain when the meta is balanced because you think you want more balanced thrashing. The past two sets, I've heard so many pros ask for more balanced thrashing. That is how ridiculous and unreliable you guys are as a player base. Because you're begging Riot for more balanced thrashing because you don't like balanced states. And that you know how we reach those kinds of things.
It's never balanced. No, when has it ever been balanced? What do you mean it's been balanced?
Do you know why
the
set tends to be more balanced in the beginning of the set? Would you agree with that?
I mean, better than the first one, but so a lot of times it's the middle ones. The ones in the middle are the best.
Okay, well let's take the general trend, which is usually the set is
the first two patch. The first patch is never gonna be balanced, basically.
Sure.
Like how can you compare the first one to the last one though? Like, I mean, if the last patch is worse than the first one, what's the balance even doing?
But most people at that point are bored of the set and the game. If we ended up in a patch where it was like nothing changed for a month and a half, everyone's like, well, we're just playing the same patch for a month and a half, and now I'm bored. But
that's because they do literally nothing. Though a lot of times,
okay,
like literally,
you just can't say they do literally nothing, man.
Okay, all right, basically for the Earth patch, remember Earth? Because I remember that one more. Like, what changed? Literally nothing. I think you played the same thing for like more than a month.
The Earth patch. We were playing Twisted Fate. Remember we were debating about banning Twisted Fate for regionals, Robin.
I know. I told Mortdog, like, and then Mortdog's like thinking that I'm trying to trick him, but I'm telling him everyone switch Earth, and he doesn't believe me for some reason. And like everyone just plays Earth because he's like always like somewhat behind. Because that's just like, what it is. Though. It was like
he's always behind.
It's not his fault.
Okay, and again, I feel like
it's not his fault. It's not his fault. It's because like
he's
everyone's
always behind
behind.
stuff that you can catch him on. You don't. Do you give him credit for when he's ahead of things? You're saying he's always behind. That's because you don't. You're not giving him credit for when he actually catches things
I
ahead
actually
of
think
time.
last set, the entire last set, the entirety of set. What was last set called? Set 12. He was behind the entire set.
I mean, I did not watch or really play set 12. I only watched to like learn for regionals. The vibe I got from the outside looking in is that people felt like it was in a below average balanced set, right?
No, I think it was actually like one of the worst. Oh, yeah, not in terms of like, it's like not in terms of like really bad balancing or really like, you know what I mean? Like let's say something average a 6 and stuff average like a 2, but in terms of like direction of like what's actually good and what's bad at the time, and they're like NASA's like, okay, I think it's because that set I played EWC, so basically by the time EWC was over, I felt it was ready to end the set because I played like fucking more games. Probably didn't like everyone at EWC probably played more games than anyone else possible, right?
Yeah.
Because it's basically we talked and studied every single day forever. So it's like every single patch, I could just tell it was like they're just balancing it wrong and going the wrong direction with some units. It's like units that should be getting buffed are getting nerfed. The units getting buffed should be getting nerfed.
I want to ask for example. I know exactly which example you're going to give. You can give the NASA's example.
No. There's multiple. Just like I don't remember, but like I just like, yeah. I just,
Okay,
like,
but can you confirm that the design of the set was really good? Because
Yeah,
what I heard from most from the outside is, hey, this set is designed great. There's so
Set 12
much
had the best
potential.
designers ever, I think. At the most potential, probably. Like, if it was balanced better, I think Set 12 would have been the best set of all time. But the balance team did a pretty bad job.
Robin, what do you think? Does that sound right to you?
Oh, I just remember I just remember the regionals patch, like forecast was like so unplayable, which was like unless you have like certain conditions. It was like so like dude, Milk and Spencer played reroll every single game, and the one game he didn't play reroll, he went like 8th or 7th.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure their plan was to play reroll every single game. I think that was the main problem.
Wait, that was
forecast
everyone's plan.
No, it wasn't Milk. And one thing, the comment that I made, so my analysis before the tournament is I thought you wouldn't do that well. I didn't realize how far ahead you were in macro. I thought everyone knew what you just said they knew, but they didn't. So you frequently got on to like S and A tier reroll lines uncontested. Like you had so many spots that were like not that good, but you were just able to get into the line, and then you high roll from some of them too.
Yeah, I know.
I just think Varus is unplayable. Karma, Fiora, like you need a lot of money, a lot of items.
Varus was actually played a lot in Asia.
Oh, hey, dude, you know, Varus wasn't even played the patch before, and he nerfed Varus the patch before. Like that's how like you know what they, the fact that they tried to buff Jinx and had to hotfix B patch it to nerf it. Like, why would they even think? Like the fact that they even think about buffing Jinx just shows you like how lost they are.
Yeah, the balancing was in set 12 wasn't great. I can't defend that, and I actually agree.
And then
it was quite poorly balanced and ruined what
and
otherwise.
And for some reason, they think Rakan is broken. Like, who's playing Rakan?
I mean, Callista, that's it.
Yeah, but the thing is,
Milk is referencing that they nerf Rakan, but not the fairy queen armor.
Why would you nerf Rakan and not Queen's armor? Like, how does that even make?
Yeah. I don't agree with that either.
So, like, what are they like? I actually like, and then they nerf 4 Arcana. When it wasn't like it wasn't that good on Rise. It was always playable on Rise, remember? For Arcana Rise. And then like Varus, which is already dead, they nerf it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna nerf it again. Just to make sure it's dead, so no one played any forecast. And they're like, oh, you wanna play some Karma? We're gonna nerf Chrono?
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. Like actually like why you nerf Karma?
Like kind of justified though, but like the two Chrono was so good. The splash is like one of the best.
But the thing is how you're gonna nerf that and then like do nothing to Karma. So it's like
I mean they tried. It wasn't very good effort.
They buffed 4 Chrono, man. They buffed 4 Chrono. No, the thing is I don't know if it's a buff because I think they nerfed Vex.
I think they should have brought back Karma's original ability, maybe.
It was very cool. I actually kind of sad that they did that. I think that like ended up turning Karma into just like a less cool version of her. And then set 5 Revival came out and you played 4 cost Dawnbringer Karma, who was actually way cooler. And then you played set 5 Gwen, who was way cooler than set 12 Gwen. You're like, oh my god, the contrast is so high.
Like, Yeah, this basically broke Ramblin's heart. Like I was talking to him about it a little
Yep.
bit on the side, and he was like devastated when they changed karma. Okay, but really fast, we're we're still in the intro, and we're already an hour
Okay,
in.
one
I
last
thought
thing.
this episode was gonna be long. We're going to be a 5-hour episode at this rate. If we
Okay,
don't-
let me just say one last thing. Like the balancing of sets, right? Like we're playing EWC and screw on PBE. Like Setsuko like was literally about to break his monitor at how bad like the balancing was. Like
Or what? EWC?
yeah, because like all it's like a lot of forecasts and like the numbers just made no sense.
Dude,
Like
EWC.
we're actually going
Okay,
that's
going
like the
crazy.
big. That's like
Okay.
the biggest. Like EWC patch was so unbalanced. But like,
Yeah, the Ogdens were but that's like I mean that's the first patch. But like the thing is, it never got better in the direction, which is like always wrong.
All right, I think we're getting too off track here. We're just kind of turning into.
Oh yeah, final statement.
No,
Final
you already
statement.
had your final. You already.
No,
you
I'm
already
gonna-
asked
you
for
can
it.
have one
last
final
last
statement if
one,
it's
one last
actually a
one,
final
last one,
statement.
please. One last one. Like, last one. For example, Kalista, right? Kalista used to be somewhat flexible, right? And then they make Kalista the least flexible unit by only making her play in 5 vertical fairy. They're nerfing these units. It's like you only play it in more verticals. Remember, like the start is like Kalista and Fiora, and you do some like other variations, like you know what I mean? You know the whole right?
Yeah.
You guys remember the first few patches? So they make the game more towards. So you have to play one vertical line.
Okay, Milk. Here's what I'll say. Okay, to try to move on from this topic,
sorry.
I do agree with the material amount of what you're saying, just at a higher level. I didn't play the set, but the type of stuff you're talking about is the type of stuff I care about. We're gonna have more on the show later, and we're gonna.
Okay, can I talk about the set?
No, Milk, and here's why. I'll be
Please
totally
mention
honest.
Nasus.
No, wait,
Just
Milk. I need you to just listen for 1 minute. This is important, I think, for you to hear this. Okay. I would actually, in theory, really love to have you on the part of the show with Mort because you are insanely thoughtful about this stuff. I agree with a lot of what you have to say, and there is a lot that we could pull out of your brain and into this conversation would make this conversation a lot better. But you are a terrible messenger, and the way in which you're communicating about this is so negative that like it doesn't allow us to actually like move the ball forward, if that makes sense. So instead we'll have the conversation with Mort and Robin later, and I think I think you're gonna be happy with it, and I would love your feedback on it and to talk to you.
You
about
also mentioned 4v4, Tim.
I probably won't get into 4v4. I think you're so good at that Crusade Milk that I think you got this.
I have 70 items left on the show, so we'll see. We
can
get to it.
Let's move on.
Okay,
let's move on.
Okay.
All right, great. What is next, man? I got stun locked. Oh, that's right. Our set wrapped for our top 15. So let's go ahead and set things up for our top 15. So the way we do it, we set up a ballot. We ask people to rank, people to define the end of the set. And this is like effectively the way, it's not power ranking anymore. We ask for the ballot of who are the actual best 15 players from the set. So without further ado, let's go ahead and at number 15, we have if you want to start talking about it, we have Toronto Tokyo. Now, this is a really interesting number 15 because this was entirely influenced because we had a small panel of people to give ballots, and one person decided to put Toronto Tokyo as a top 5 player in the set.
This is actually
and gave him an entire set of points to have him jump, because the problem is number 15 was so heavily disagreed by so many people. Like everyone who got 15 got like 1 or 2 points, 1 or 2 points, 1 or 2 points. And so it's a really tight race for 15th. And then one person decided to put Toronto Tokyo top 5 and then nuked the race. So Bryce, go ahead.
Okay, I just have to say that, you know, I'm glad that this is where we're starting because I forgot about this. And you know, Milk, we just had kind of a real conversation. I want you to know that I love you and I really do value your opinion on this stuff, and I love talking about this stuff. But that I feel bad about the real conversation, but I'm not gonna not flame you for this.
Okay, let me explain.
This was your ballot. Wait, really fast, Milk. I'm just throwing this out there. This is like number 15 on the list is kind of now weird.
Yes, but the thing is, you have to realize, like, if you actually factor in the real ladder results, he's probably number 1 on set. What set is this? Set 12 ladder. Because the thing is that if you're at EWC, you're basically missing all the early snapshots, and not only that, but like the later snapshots always carry over to like. Basically, the later snapshots should be worth more than the early snapshots, just because like you could decay all the late snapshots down the line much more than like the early. You know, early snapshots. If you're high up early, you're gonna carry that over. I'll say the EWC debuff. So basically, I think he's much higher than this. And like, let's say he did make it to regionals, right? And then let's say he went to worlds. And like, let's say he played exactly the same. He'd be ranked higher, right? And the thing is, off his play, I think he was top 5 of the set.
Yeah.
You know
Also,
what?
I think it's
I'm
better
glad
than
that you Milk. I'm glad you have an explanation. I feel better about the vote.
He has an explanation.
And he was a piece of EWC.
We probably should have gotten more ballots to balance it out, Bryce. But we some people
tried.
chose to opt out of it. We didn't get everyone to respond because the reality is a lot of people are kind of checked out of set 12, or they just don't feel like they can make a real list. And I do think it's kind of fitting that Milk comes in like a tornado and just influences.
He might be the best player at EWC, like out of everyone. Like
fair enough, right? And we don't have EWC to factor in, and we did say tournaments, right, as a big part of it.
It counts.
It does count. It's not something that would factor into my rankings. And Toronto gives a beast.
People really sweated for EWC too. To be one of the best players at that tournament is actually legitimately hard. Like people were super into it.
Yeah, it's most I think I've seen anyone sweat.
I was blown away from the outside how much prep work you guys were doing. It was cool.
Yeah. So they didn't ever sleep on the floor. Robin got kicked out of his his office.
Oh yeah, we got kicked out, but yeah, it was fun. It was a great, cool experience. Just like eat, sleep, TFT with your buddies, with your little buddies.
All right.
Pretty sick.
Let's see if Toronto can bounce back. 106, 73, 125. Yeah.
I feel like this ranking is also like it's kind of weird because like you have the people who try to do snapshots and if they make it through snapshots, they don't try in the tournaments because they're guaranteed regionals. So then their ranking is like their snapshots good, and then their like TT was like part of that, but he didn't make snapshots, so it was like kind of weird. But like I do agree, TT was a beast at EWC, and
that's just part. That's just part of how it works, though, right? Like the way we view these rankings is like how your overall season performance, and it's like you can't seriously give someone like an MVP if they just didn't take the regular season seriously, but they're going to turn on in playoffs, right? Like a Jimmy Butler, right, or even LeBron these days. Because they're saving themselves for that playoff run. But like, yeah, this is kind of how we're evaluating things, like how they performed all season, not just off their potential. All right, number 14, we got Degree, the Greenest in the house, actually putting on a pretty solid result overall and had pretty good stats, generally speaking. His win rate is always something that always impresses me a lot. Degree actually ends up being really good at identifying for those firsts. Didn't unfortunately have that Golden Spatula run. I'm not sure exactly what happened. But he started off the set pretty decently well, and I think overall, like I think 14th is totally fine. Last time we had him was set 10, where he made a really deep Worlds run. I don't have any other comments about Degree, Bryce. Anything you want to say about him?
No, I'm gonna be pretty. This section will be pretty light, right? Because I didn't watch a lot, so it's really mostly regionals formed opinions. Obviously, that did not go very well for him, so I didn't really get to see any of like what was the good about him this set.
Yeah. Okay. Robin, Milk, anything on Degree? Otherwise, we can move on.
I just remember he made it through snapshots, right? So his solo queue.
No, he made it through qualifier points.
Oh,
I mean, looking at his results, 21st, 13th, 77th is pretty good across 3 cups.
Yeah, I mean.
Is that enough to make? That's enough to make regionals, I guess.
Usually, because like you do 21st, 30th, 13th, you went far on day 3, and that just means that like he just has to get to like end of day 2 or something like that, or beginning of day 3.
Okay.
Okay. Congratulations, Degree. That's a second appearance. Number 13. We got another second appearance. We got Philip. So we got some practice partners hanging out there. Philip actually started off the set really well with like kind of a rank 1, doing really well in ladder. We had him on the podcast. And then all of a sudden he kind of like ran it down really hard. I think he had like a 700 LP dip at one point. Kind of having like a precedent moment where he kind of like almost like got into the triple digits. And
he got catching strays out here.
Oh, I mean he'll be getting some comments later on as well.
Deserve strays, but strays.
But overall, I think what the takeaway that I have is that we have higher expectations of him now, and I think it's not like a bad thing, right? We're not here to flame Philip. I'm saying that he's kind of put himself on. He, in my opinion, from my vision, is that he was breaking away from the pack, and we don't want sort of a step back. We want to step forward and continue to step forward.
And that's not just you. That's not just you. I will say on the outside, one of the things that's interesting is you just hear kind of the overall noise, right? And the overall noise on Philip was really consistent. Everyone expected. I thought he was going to make the leap. Like it felt like he was going to be competitive, like final day of regionals type of vibes this set for him. So I'm curious what happened here. I'd be curious for his take on was he low rolling, like what patches did he struggle on, like what happened? Because I think that he has higher expectations of himself too.
Yeah, I don't really have too much insight on. I do know that he had like a lot of low roll games, but I mean I think everyone does. So
Sure.
It is what it is. Let's go on to number 12. We got Casper Wu. Casper made it. Okay. I mean, he got third in that Tactician's Cup number 2. Came onto the reviewed episode with Phoenix. Dropped one of the most legendary performances on Don't Talk If You Don't Know when Bryce wasn't here. If you guys missed that episode.
Sad. You missed out because I would have run headfirst into that train. It would have been an interesting. It was an interesting show without me, but it would have been an interesting show with me too. Very different.
Casper also has some of the most games played, I think, ever on a set.
Ever? What?
For a competitive player. Let me actually look.
He had more than Soju.
Yeah, at one point, let me see. Casper had 1,200 games played up to like a month ago. So he's been grinding. He's been grinding 1,200 games, and then he stopped at like a month ago.
And it makes sense. He burnt his regionals answers when I did my regionals interviews. He was like 24th out of 24th. I'm doing 0 prep. I don't care about this all. I'm completely burnt out on the set. It's like, bro, why'd you have to play 1,200 games? You could have just saved some of those games for regionals. I think he could have been good at this regionals. It was Casper Wu on a reroll of like one of the more interesting, diverse reroll patches we've seen. I agree. I wish there was more forecast play, but there was a lot of space and a lot of interesting things happening in the reroll trees, which was original Casper bread and butter. He's developed better, more well-rounded play, but like he could have been very good at this. I think that he was probably good at the set for a reason. So I'm bummed we didn't get to see him try at regionals.
I think Casper is interesting. I feel like he has like a lot of like raw talent, but he just like doesn't care sometimes. And then also I think he watches a lot of. I think he's Chinese. I think he watches a lot of Chinese because like I remember one day at like 2 a.m. I was watching TOC and he was just in chat, like typing and stuff. So he definitely like does a lot of research. I think he went dead last to fulfill the prophecy. That
he didn't go dead last. It was 32 people.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, 24 hours.
No, someone else went dead last at regionals, who we'll talk about in a little bit. But
wait, you ranked him?
I mean, you'll see why. You'll see why pretty soon.
Did.
But yeah, Casper definitely did not have a good regionals. But I will say that podcast episode is something I probably will never forget, when he was wearing an Akatsuki Naruto Anbu mask and stood on his bed and like dramatically entered the podcast episode. If you guys don't know, you guys have to watch it. It's just it was a spectacle. And poor Phoenix, man. Poor Phoenix was just
spectator mode.
Deer in the headlights for the entire show. He did not have any fucking idea what to do.
All right. Okay, congratulations, Casper. Second appearance as well, which is kind of a theme of what's going on. Rounding out our bottom 5 of the top, or our 5th player, for kind of our bottom 3rd players here. We got Phoenix. Speaking of,
perfect
the first
timing.
First time we ever had Phoenix on it, and he actually had a great result. I believe one of these is incorrect. Phoenix actually.
Yeah, he went first.
Sorry about that. Slight error. We'll get that fixed as soon as we can. But Phoenix having a great set overall, and it's really cool. He was talking about how he was really happy that he was able to kind of like back up like Soju gassing him up so much, right? Because he's like, Milk, how involved is Phoenix in the practice group, the study group?
Probably the least amount. But honestly, I mean, I like him, but he's probably not top 15 player in NA. I'll be honest.
No,
okay, but like in terms of
I
his
like him,
performance set though.
Yeah. I think he's on an uptrend. He's on an uptrend. He's uptrending, but I don't think he's there yet.
Okay. So he can
he's
get
uptrending.
There. Okay.
So this is
he can get there, but he's not there yet. So
I see.
I think we should like.
Sorry, finish your thought on Phoenix. Go.
No. I think he can get there, but he's not there yet. Yeah.
Okay. So for what it's worth, I agree with you, but I also think he had he won his first major tournament. He's definitely trending up, and this ranking is partially about the player's potential, but partially about just what they did, like celebrating their accomplishments. So it's interesting to note that Milk, you were the only person who left Phoenix off the ballot, and not only that, but no one else had Phoenix rated out. The worst he was rated on anyone's ballot was 11th. He was rated 11th on a couple of ballots.
I guess because I watch him play.
You
He's
can't, you can't judge him.
Thing is,
Bro, that was
highly-
so hard.
first. No, he's on uptrend. He's on uptrend. He's on uptrend. He's on uptrend.
Yeah.
He's trending up. I don't think he's there yet, but he's trending up.
He's trending up. He's trending up. You can't rate it just off of what they play because I mean Phoenix is in GM most of the time with me.
My God.
Mucking it up, but
This is your boy. He's just cooking him.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, like, you have to be honest. Like, if someone's like, let's say someone's doing bad, right? But like, they went, I don't know, but they top forward. You should still tell them that they did bad, or else they won't improve.
Milk, I agree with that for what it's worth. I think in general, we should, as a society, we should be more honest with one another. But what I will say is that it's also okay to like just look at the positive side of something in certain contexts. So like in this context, it's his first time ever making our top 15. He won a cup this set, and he is playing better and improving.
Yeah.
And he's also
15.
he's
So
also
like,
he's
I,
also
like,
your, he's also
yeah,
your
I'm not
boy.
gonna kick off Soju off the list I had. And put
People who don't know Phoenix, by the way, because
okay, all right, kick
Phoenix
Soju off. Put Phoenix
is the
on.
least
all right.
engaged member of that study group, probably, right?
Sounds
like,
good.
Yeah,
sounds
it's,
good.
it's a lot of like Precedent and
He plays
Milk
least for sure.
and Kyun, right? But he's a really nice guy, and he's always
Yeah,
like fun to hang out with when he's in there, and he is very good at TFT. It's actually impressive with how little he invests in it, how good he is. So I'm happy for Phoenix. I'm glad that he made the top 15.
Wait, I think Phoenix is I feel like this is the set. Like, I feel like he did good last set too, right? Like, I feel like he's always doing, like, every tournament he does pretty well.
Yeah, the issue is that last time he made regionals, he like went dead last and like wasn't really. And so when you have like a pretty decent season, but you do really badly at regionals, you have to have a really good reason to get ranked. And I think that was actually a really competitive set. Like we actually had a lot of like 16, 17, 18 people that we also won on the list too.
And his stats, if you did the top 15 just based on stats in tournaments, then he's up there for sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, look at that. A little conversation, and Phoenix is back on Milk's top 15. Unanimous. Unanimous ballot selection.
We're going to have momentum for this.
All right. He's on his uptrend. He's on the uptrend. We're entering the top 10. Let's go ahead and go to number 10. We got Ripple Overdrive with a really solid set of results. And if there was results that were a little bit differently, who knows what would have happened. Ripple is also one of Bryce's favorite players to glaze up here. So if you want to say anything about him, you can save it or you can move it on.
No, I was trying to think about whether or not I was going to wind up talking about Ripple later in the show. I'm not sure that I will, so I think this is probably a good time. I will say that I have no opinion on how Ripple played this set. None whatsoever. The only games I got to watch for regionals, I was pretty limited in terms of what lobbies we were watching. We didn't watch a lot of Ripple on the co-stream when I was on, which I'm legitimately sad about because Dan's right. This is actually, I think it's weird. A lot of the people that I've been very interested in their TFT, it's been a long time. Like I've followed their play for a really long time. Ripple's probably my most recent addition of like, I think that anytime Ripple is doing well, if you were VODs of his games, he's must watch TFT. I think he finds his edge in a lot of the hard parts of the game, like positioning, that it's just really fun to watch. And if you like start every round assuming that he's positioning correctly and then try to figure out why, even if it was incorrect, just trying to get in his brain and think about it is really interesting. So yeah, I mean, I think Ripple is a special player. I'm sad that he's just now starting to play full time because I'm going to miss, I think, what's going to be his best TFT. But for those of people who don't know, he just started full time TFT after the third cup last set, right? So it's brand new. And so he's literally only had regionals on that. It's not like he was bad at regionals. He went 9th, right?
I mean,
that's
a couple points off from making worlds.
Right. And I think skill ceiling wise, I think this is a tier 1 player. So it would not at all surprise me to like take a year off from TFT and come back and we're discussing the tier 1 and we're saying it's like Milk, or that it's like Setsuko, Replay, Dish Soap, and Ripple. Right. I think there's a really high chance that happens. If he plays full time for the next if he plays full time for the next year. Look out.
That is really, really high praise. Okay. Ripple Overdrive. Bryce already has prophesied and anointed him as a future tier 1 player. Okay.
I also seen him play sometimes, like my games, and yeah, he has hands at least.
He has hands. What does that mean?
Position.
Some people have hands.
Yeah.
I assume a lot of people who play TFT have hands.
No,
know,
no, Robin, hold him up. Robin doesn't have hands.
I don't feel like that. Like
No hands.
I have hands. I have hands.
he's not
You just
bad. He's actually not bad.
I
just
actually
haven't
think
seen my
people
hands yet.
underestimate Robin's APM. I think it's sometimes he thinks slow, but I think his APM can be pretty good.
Yes. Also, yes. I think I'm getting slower though, low key.
Yeah, I think you are
Oh,
too.
he's actually pretty good. He's actually pretty good.
Fun trend to sort of identify. Ripple spikes every other set on even sets. Set 8, set 10, set 12. What can he do? Maybe not set 13, but set 14.
Huh?
The 1 year prophecy. Let's go to single digits. Number 9. We got Bobster making it a set for the very first time with some pretty incredible stat line in spite of what shook down at the Golden Spatula. Bobster had quite an amazing set overall. And then I don't even know what kind of happened, but in the frame of 2 weeks, kind of punted all of that in some ways, because he kind of like went dead last at America's Golden Spatula and almost went dead last at Worlds. And I'm not entirely sure what actually happened. I talked to T-Lights about it. All I know is that he wasn't 100% locked in for the Golden Spatula for the regionals, because he was like, oh, I'm going to Worlds anyways.
Yeah.
And I think his performance kind of gave him a wake-up call that I think he couldn't catch up fast enough relative to like what he needed to do to get into it. So I think it's sort of like a momentum thing. That's as much insight as I possibly can give. Either way, it's like a shame because he was our number 1 QP earner. And if you look at the results, man, he was on track to put on a fire set. And I don't know what happened.
Those stats going dead last at regionals, he was playing some really good TFT before regionals. And I only watched regionals and a little bit of Worlds. So I'm bummed I missed like his high point. I'm curious because this is the other player that you left off that everyone went
Okay, the thing is, all he had to do at regionals was not go dead last. Okay, let's say Wasian didn't get dropped a prismatic orb. He'd be at Worlds right now, probably, or he would have been at Worlds. You know?
Yes.
And then, but you guys probably would have ranked Bobster lower, not because of what he did, but because of what Wasian did, or not what happened in Wasian's game.
That is correct. You are entirely correct. I would probably have put Bobster even.
And the thing is, I think Bobster is not that bad, right? But the thing is, I feel like doing that bad in 2 tournaments should like factor into like your overall stuff, because like this probably doesn't factor in Worlds as well. But like regionals and Worlds, like the giving the opportunity to play at those and like doing that bad, I think is like should like even it out to like, yeah, that's why I didn't rank him top.
I feel like if someone play like you have to play, you get anything but dead last. Like if you play it like that, you might go dead last. Just like at
yeah, but
Summit,
it's also at Worlds though as well.
Oh yeah, like Solus and Chrome had to not go 7-8 and it went 7-8. Like sometimes you just don't play. If you think about that, you just play not normally and you just play really bad.
It's true. For people who may have missed the context, Bobster was guaranteed the world spot through QP going to regionals as long as he didn't go 32nd, basically dead last, 31st, 32nd. And there was a double condition here. And specifically, only Wasian Iverson could make final lobby and take that spot from him. And that almost happened. That almost happened. So
and
like,
no,
that's what Milk is
prismatic orb. It's just like the balancing on the prismatic orb was so bad. Like I saw Wasian get dropped that. I already knew he was just gonna bleed out and die.
Yeah.
I have a question, by the way.
The game just over.
Me and Wasian were in the final lobby together, and Wasian actually typed in all chat, "Hey Robin, you have incentive to to help me win." And then GG Tech.
Oh, you do. You did.
Yeah, I know. He said GG Tech allowed him to say that. And then I do have incentive because I want him to go, because if Wasian makes it, then I make it automatically. So I really wanted him to win, but I didn't know what I could do within TOS. Like, was I allowed to FF?
I think you're allowed to FF. I think you're allowed to FF, yeah.
Yeah, was I allowed to FF? Also,
I think you are.
I don't think you're allowed to
does anyone actually know?
No, you're at FF. Nature said it once that you're allowed to FF.
Yeah,
that
was years ago.
That was a while ago. That was a while ago, and it was a slightly different context, but similar theory.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what I was able to do, so like I still played normally. That game, I could have easily just FF'd. He would have gone to Worlds. It would have benefited me and Wasian. I could have also just like sold my board. I didn't know what I was allowed to do, so I didn't do anything. I was scared.
That's a problem. You should know. Riot, can you weigh in on that? Can you just let us know? Because whatever you decided, I think is pretty reasonable, but we just need to know.
Like, luckily,
it's an edge case.
I think
This
this
is
has been
luckily
one of the messiest.
luckily the
go
the
ahead.
other person who made it was
Black
like,
Sheep went first and in a different lobby than you, and that like made it so that
yeah. Like instead of Wei making it, Black Sheep made it, so it didn't end up mattering, but it could have mattered. Like, I'll place Wei in that game, and like I could have easily sold my board, and he would have made it. So
Interesting.
I would say that in general, this season has been really messy with understanding the competitive rulings and where the guidelines are for
Can I say something about that?
Okay.
Like how does China, like how do the players not do anything about, like, what's his name was Zwanji, like how can Riot just someone just shows up at regionals, everyone, literally, I'm not even joking, literally every single CN streamer I've ever watched shares accounts, okay? Every single one. And Riot picks one at random to decide to ban. Like how's that
I don't think
fair?
it was random. I don't think it was random, but
no, it's because the thing is, Riot probably literally has no clue what's going on. They've never watched a CN stream probably their entire lives. They see a Twitter post by people to carrot.
Okay, I need to stop you because you're already really misinformed. This was a ban done by Riot, like the Chinese company.
Okay. But the thing is,
you think Natures and Riot made that decision from America? They didn't.
Okay, but the thing is, who didn't brought it up to them? Who didn't brought it up?
It was Riot CN that banned them. So like,
but who didn't brought it up to them though?
Well, I don't. How am I supposed to know?
Maybe
maybe
think about it,
Carrot's Twitter accounts or something.
So you need to see the random, like, I'm pretty sure someone at Riot NA said something to them.
When you say,
I think now we're just entering
The
conspiracy.
thing is, the CN players, right?
Wait, Milk. You're saying it like it's a fact. Please provide
it's probably a fact. Most likely.
No, you can't.
Okay, so wait a second.
What even is that sentence? It's probably a fact.
Is there?
Think about
Milk?
it.
Hey, Milk. Wait a second.
Okay.
Is there a source for this information? Because if not, I think we just need to stop.
Okay. Just think about it logically. The CN players have been sharing accounts on stream every single set. Everyone knows it.
I agree that it does feel like they were too harsh on Shunga, and I understand. I think that Riot China decided. I think they decided to do a general policy. My theory, and I have nothing to really base this off other than just conjecture. But I think they decided to be harsher this set across the board because they want to set precedent moving forward. Everyone keeps saying there was no precedent in the past. There was no precedent in this past. You're inconsistent. But this set, they've only been consistent about one thing, is that they've been harsh on their punishments. They've been very harsh on their punishments.
Okay, but the thing is,
moving forward, there's precedent set, established. Yes. Don't be a moron. Don't break TOS.
Yes.
Don't
but
be
how come they only ban him though? After a Twitter post.
They can't ban everyone. That's why. And like they should have given a warning, but like they're just like whatever.
Yeah.
Like they pick one person. Like just because of like, do you think it was because of Twitter post or do you think it was because Riot CN? Like what do you think was more likely?
I don't know. That's all speculation at this point.
No, it's probably Twitter post, but Ryan CN installed a Twitter post. Probably.
Be honest, I think they got a lot of publicity for it, and I feel like maybe they said, okay, we need to take action, and unfortunately, it's gonna be this guy. Maybe someone personally has beef with Shunga. I know, not to stoke the fire, but I know there's a lot of drama. Like a lot of streamer people don't like each other in China. We're all buddies here, right?
Wait, how come he reports someone else for account sharing, and that guy doesn't get banned? Just only him.
I can't answer that. I can't answer that because I'm not Riot in China. I'm not Riot CN. I don't know. I can't help you with that. It could be the fact that because that doesn't take away from the point that he did something that's against the rules and they decided to take action against it.
How's that fair? I just don't understand like how he gets banned.
It's not fair. It's not fair that he gets banned and other people don't. That's why everyone's complaining about it. But moving forward,
are people complaining about it though?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people did. One of his fans started a TFT Report Center Twitter account to report other streamers to try and get them banned.
That was so one-sided because I didn't see any of like the AG players get reported. Yeah, that account was biased for sure. I'm reporting.
Probably they can't ban everyone. They decided to make someone an example, just like they did with Setsuko, just like they did with Careless D, just like they did with Shunga. So I think that's
Setsuko's coming back next set. I'm scared.
Also, the Careless D ban, that one also makes no sense either, man.
No, we gotta move forward, man. We can't keep going on this. We just can't. I'm sorry. I refuse.
All I'm saying is Riot
the show is already gonna be really long, and like this is just not. It's just not the forum.
I don't know how else to say this. All I know is the lowest amount of punishment is win trading at Worlds. That's all I
Okay,
have to say.
that is it's such a gross over exaggeration of a relatively nuanced topic. And once again, I can agree with a meaningful amount of what you're arguing here, but it's so bad in the delivery that you're just not gonna actually you're harming the cause more than helping it. And I like
yeah,
I'm on
that
your
is something
team,
that, by the way,
and I
you
don't
do
want you
all
to
the
be the
time.
spokesperson of this issue.
You hate when people misrepresent the cause. You're misrepresenting the cause right now. Just want to let you
Yes.
know. But I
Yes.
appreciate your passion for justice. Hopefully you keep that up in the future. All right. Number 8. We got Prestivance. This is
Oh, we're on. This didn't know we're on. My bad. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Don't apologize. It's good.
Ricky, my
Milk,
bad. My bad.
You're passionate. We love your passion. It's part of what makes you a great guest.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't know we were still.
You're good, buddy. You're good. I have no hard cap tonight. If this show takes 6 hours, I was like,
have
Dan,
a
I
hard
have
cap
literally
tonight,
infinite.
Bryce.
Yeah.
Prestivant, man, what happened to him at regionals? I think this was his best set ever. I think he looked so good. He made day 3s. He was consistent. He was a threat. Going to regionals, he was like in good form. He was crushing scrims. Milk, you play with him every day. Did he just
Honestly,
get unlucky?
I mean, he honestly he was better than me and Spencer for sure. Probably like he probably.
What
just
happened?
low-rolled.
He low rolled?
I don't know. I mean, the thing is like don't we just low roll sometimes? I mean, just happens in TFT.
Yeah.
It does.
I don't know.
His top 4 rate is insanely high. His stats.
Like
look really good.
I think P got. I put P got number 2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I mean, part of it is because
'Cause
you're
I-
using eye tests and
Yeah, I mean, I mostly use that. Also, the results are pretty good. 23rd, 5th, 25th. I
very
think
good.
just like lower
Outside of
regionals.
regionals.
A little
yes.
bit.
For what it's worth, I agree with that. I mean, my takes at regionals weren't just as bad as I did not think Milk was going to do that well. I thought Prestivant was going to do really well. I feel like I watched these guys play Infinite the week leading up. I watched Spencer, Milk, and Prestivant play and talk TFT for an entire week in lead up to regionals. I was probably in that chat for I don't know, Milk, how long? You think 20 to 25 hours or something over the course of the 5 days?
Oh, I wasn't really paying attention to you. How many hours?
Yeah, fair enough. Either way, Pigot was the best of those 3 players heading into regionals. I feel really confident.
Pigot's lower than Dishhope is like reportable.
Milk, for the reason why is because part of it is the results, right? And he didn't do that well at regionals.
I actually think Milk's cooking with this one. I rated. Wait, actually, I don't know what I did, but I actually think that there's merit to it. I
Okay,
rated Dishhope pretty
alright,
low.
the thing is,
you have Preston.
okay,
Dan is Preston the lowest
no,
of anybody. He
no,
literally
No,
has
but
the
I actually can see his point. It's because I rated Dishhope lower.
Yeah,
no, I've always said Dishhope was better, like basically the best, a lot of times. But this set, if you just use your eyes, this is worst set ever, honestly. Since
for Dishhope,
sorry,
I think he'd be the first to agree with you since set 6.
yeah, I know. But the thing is, for sure.
Okay. But
But
we're
he
talking
didn't play
about
that
Prestivant.
much.
We'll
He
talk
won a
about.
break,
Look,
I'm pretty sure.
okay,
Yeah.
spoiler:
Okay.
Dishhope's on this list. We can talk about that too. In the meantime, I think now Prestivant's kind of become the focus. If there's one player, in my opinion, that breaks into tier 1, Bryce picks Ripple. I picked Prestivant. I think he is overdue, and it's gonna be like a Setsuko moment where when Prestivant wins, he's gonna win a lot. He's gonna be very consistent, and then there's gonna be I forgot the time when he wasn't very in that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
We had that about Setsuko. We had that about pretty much everybody there. And I think Prestivant's gonna be there soon.
I
Hopefully.
completely agree with this take for what it's worth. I think he's already made the leap. I predict him to do really well going to regionals. Did not work out that well, but I'm surprised it didn't. And he'll be back. He's methodically improved each and every set. Watching Prestivant's development over the course of the last year and a half has been really cool. Because he's good.
Yeah. Soldier's literally found this guy off the street.
Yeah, it's crazy
It's
how
his
good he got
IRL
at TFT.
friend, wasn't it? Yeah. Off the street. All right, number 7. Yeah, replay. Replay back at number 7. And I think this is it sounds weird to put him 7 because you look at his results and you realize that once again he was only a few points off from making the World Championships. Last set he was the same way, and the set before that actually he was almost guaranteed to make it to Worlds, and unfortunately had the set 10 final lobby moment. But man, you have to also take a step back and realize that it's a disappointment that he's coming this close and missing. But then the other side of it is replay sort of developing is he just kind of fumbling at the goal line sometimes now here, right? We've had a few sets where he's so close. If he's a little bit better, he's making Worlds 4 sets in a row type of thing. Or he's a little bit more consistent, a little bit more clean. So it's really tricky because he's clearly extremely reliable in tournaments. He's one of the most reliable fantasy players if you look statistically, of course of our history of our show. Easily like a top 2 pick in fantasy of all time.
It was such a fantasy cheat code for a while. I just got him every tournament.
Yeah, and I think that it's like a shame to put him in this low. But if you look at the other 6 names, well, I mean, I guess.
Well, wait a second. So I was gonna. Dan, it's interesting that's. I mean, you're right. There's an argument for it, but it's interesting to note that the 3 non-player ballots, you, me, and Gangly, all have him much higher than this. We have him 4, 4, 5, and it's the player ballots where he performed much worse, and that bumped him down a couple of rankings.
Oh, that's actually true. Where did Robin rank him?
Robin has him low. Yeah, Robin and Milk rated him the exact same. Actually, they both have him at like 9th.
I looked at snapshots, QP, and regionals. Yeah, that's what I looked at. So I think he had decent QP. His snapshots were trash, but he wasn't going for it. He had pretty decent QP, and then he went 12th at regionals. So I guess the other people on the list had higher, either went to Worlds or had higher QP than him. Mm-hmm. So that's why I ranked him 9th, I guess.
There's not like much beyond the fact that you happen to be signed on the same orgs, right? For Toronto Ultra, you don't really talk to replay.
Oh, I'm not actually on Toronto Ultra. They only signed me for EWC.
I see.
So I'm like, yeah. So I'm not like, we're not teammates anymore. But replay, we didn't really talk that much. But I don't know if you guys know, but after day 1 of Worlds, he VOD reviewed in my games, and I was in call with him.
Yeah.
So we studied together, and he made me realize I made giga mistakes. Like, I made so many mistakes. Even like a lot of mistakes I realized is like an old man mistake, and I knew it. But like even mistakes I didn't even see, he helped me a lot. And I think we got, even though we don't talk that much, we definitely got way closer after EWC.
That's good. Again, though, this is kind of like his lowest floor, which is really impressive, all things considering. So another great set, but not like the Worlds type of set. I just want to see if you replay that back at Worlds to see where you can run it back, because at this point, you know, we've been seeing multiple world champions run it back and even win, so it'd be cool to see him throw his hat in the ring again. We'll see. Okay, number 6.
Wait, Dish Soap says, Milk, can you talk?
Okay, honestly, for this segment. Thank you. No.
Do you have a POV
talk
on
about
replay?
what?
Do you have a POV on
no, I mean
on replay?
I think he was probably the best Jinx player on the server, and like I kind of learned Jinx from him.
Okay.
But I think Dish Soap is trying to say something else. Okay, we watched like I think everyone has like their bad games, you know? Yeah. Like everyone has their bad games. Like like I guess we basically me and Dish Soap.
Wait, and like Milk is resisting flaming. He said a compliment, and he's.
Oh, you guys watched replay, and he played really bad.
Okay, I need some context being said here. Can someone back up? You guys are talking as if you're all everyone's in the know, and I'm not in the know. What's going on here?
No. What? No, it's just me. It's just Dish Soap. It's like Dish Soap has some mean words to say.
Dish Soap has mean words to say.
Dish Soap said in chat is trying to instigate Milk into talking.
Okay.
It sounds. I don't know what happened, but it sounds like probably they VOD reviewed him together, or maybe they talked about.
Yeah, but everyone has like bad games. You know?
Milk saw some bad games
like,
with replay.
And
Milk is
I know exactly what happened,
which I think is great.
Okay, Robin,
they VOD reviewed it. No, I'm just guessing. But they bought Dish Soap and Milk VOD reviewed replay, and they're like, they watched my game like, dude, this guy is trash. Yeah. And then that's what happened.
No, he's pretty good. Like, yeah. But like, there's like a couple of games we saw were suspect. But right. Who doesn't have suspect games, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why this set I ranked him 9th as well.
I see.
Well, he'll have better sets.
Would you have ranked him higher if you only saw his results and didn't watch his games?
Probably, honestly.
All right, that's all I need to know. Dank Memes makes the list at number 6 for the first time. Also, really impressive stats. Almost kind of like cover the name, cover the picture. Maybe you put this guy a little bit higher. Really impressive first round. He's also kind of like a guy that was cut from the same cloth as Darth Nub. He's like posts a lot on competitive TFT subreddit. He's much more of like an active chatter. He kind of represents the average TFT player in some ways in terms of aspiration. If anything, stuff like the stats argument and or rather losing augment stats really hurts players like him a lot, because it's like, can we get rise of new blood and talent of people like Dank Memes? So Really cool. It's always cool to see where some of these dark horses, these new guns come from. And he's been around for a while. He's been competing for a while, but he's actually been consistent. It's not like he's a guy who came out of nowhere. He's actually been consistently making snapshots for top 32 cuts, right? Like the day threes for quite some time now. So it's cool to see him actually have that breakout performance.
The stats are really good too. Like these are really good stats.
Oh, he's a beast. I remember I think in in-houses before Worlds, he was like he was doing so well in in-houses, I remember.
Yep. A lot of potential. We'll see if he can finish it. Well, go ahead, Milk.
Oh no, I remember talking about him and like people are ranking him in like in the NA group the same as like Black Sheep, So Bio, and like Bobster and them. But I was like, he actually has hands. I'm like, better.
Well
like,
said.
Yeah.
He actually has hands.
No. I like he got like a ranking to give like the E people, and I was like, Dank Memes is like,
Milk, can
Not
you do me a
that bad.
favor? Can you do your list of players that have hands on an A and just tweet it? Just all you do is just tweet the names, people with hands.
Bro,
no,
has hands.
I mean, most people have hands. Like I don't know. I'm sorry. You know what I mean?
No,
though?
I like
No,
it.
no,
I like it.
I
He's
agree with
teasing
you.
He's
I
just
don't know.
teasing
I
you.
don't know. I
He's
can't think of
teasing you.
people randomly on top of my head. Like most people have hands, man. It's like, yeah, but some
Okay.
people don't have hands. You know.
Does Bryce have hands?
No.
In
No, I
TFT?
don't.
I mean,
No, definitely not. Dan does. Dan's APM is actually like really good. Dan's
No,
Oh, I'm
not at
not
all.
talking about APM. I'm not talking about APM. I'm talking about
No,
like that's what you
Yeah.
mean. I'm not like skill.
yeah, like that. Oh, you're grouping that in. Oh, in that case, my honest
Yeah, I'm
analysis.
talking about none of it is about APM.
Yeah, okay, then if that's what you mean,
Yeah.
honest analysis of my own play, I do have hands. I think that's an area of the game where I get edge over other high challenger players, but I think I make a lot of mistakes in other parts of the game.
Oh no, I'm talking about something. Honestly, I guess my definition of having hands is like you're decent at the game.
Oh.
You're not that bad.
Oh, then no,
yeah,
I
it's
don't.
an
Honestly, it's not
expression
that
like
bad.
You can
Not
fight or
that
something,
bad.
I guess.
Then
but-
no, I definitely don't have hands by Milk Stand.
Yeah. I was gonna say you're not that bad.
Yeah,
All right,
no,
so he's
yeah.
actually giving a pretty big compliment to Dank Memes. He's got hands.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
All right, great.
I honestly should use better phrasing. My bad.
We
it's
love
probably 'cause I'm
character
old, to
development.
be
We
honest
love
with you.
character development. Number 5, we got Dish Soap. This is really high. Why do we have the Fnatic logo on this one? It's probably not right. Whoops. Especially because he's wearing a DSG hoodie. Wow. That's on me. My bad.
PSG and Fnatic. Find it every work.
I like it.
When you're at number 1, it's just hard to go anywhere.
Hey, can I
but
talk about this
down.
show?
Yes.
Go ahead. Yes.
Okay, the thing is, he's coming off a set he just won Worlds.
Yeah.
So it's like, and he basically went on vacation. So I think number 5 here is way too high if you actually watch him play.
I don't think it's way too high. I think he
Yeah.
locked in for one tournament and he went 5th.
My take on this is that
He
it's
locked it for
not
2
too
tournaments,
high.
Robin, and he went.
But the thing is like, I didn't like it.
I get where you're coming from, Milk. I think this is actually a testament just how insane Dish Soap is. I don't think anyone thinks Dish Soap was close to his best TFT, and he learned sets super methodically. So like taking a huge amount of the set off is actually like really bad for him as a player. He still was pretty goddamn good at regionals, considering so few people would have played as well as him on that amount of prep. I would guess like almost none of the server actually.
Yeah.
So
and-
I don't think this is, I don't think this is
mean-
too high for him.
I think this is good. I think this is like low for Dish Soap historically, which is
I think it's too high though for this set.
For
Wait,
what
so
it's
you
worth,
think
I agree. I do think that people rate Dish Soap a little too high because they respect him so much, I mean, me included. And it's not because like his ability was there, but he didn't play the set. Like he played in 2 tournaments, in my opinion. He played the Golden Regionals and Worlds, and he had one really
And
good
EWC.
tournament and one tournament where
And then you guys went dead last in EWC.
okay? But for me though,
Yeah.
he did.
we actually
he
didn't
was
go dead
basically
last. We actually did. Okay, go ahead, Robin.
he made snapshots, so he didn't need to play tournaments. He made snapshots and he went 5th. I feel like that's like beast mode.
Yes, that's like I said, he makes the list purely off of how impressive he is, in spite of how little he's played. But 5 is pretty high for me. Like I think Rive player should be higher personally, but but that doesn't mean he doesn't make the list. I mean, you can argue that anywhere between 5 and 9 is like basically like 1 or 2 points off of, like of either AVP or placements in tournaments. So I think he's definitely within this band of players for the set.
Man, can I just say the most watched TFT podcast of all time would just be if after every tournament, Milk watched Dish Soap's games and picked one to flame him, and then Dish Soap did.
No,
the
it wasn't
best
just
with
one.
him.
It was like
No, I know, but you would just pick the best. It would be a great.
It was
content.
like
You just
like
flame
many
Dish
games
Soap
in
for
a
30
row,
minutes. He flames
it's
you
like-
for 30 minutes. It would actually be. It would be insane content. You guys should definitely.
okay,
do
no,
it.
that's just like okay. I remember like, it wasn't just regionals, but it was also like Worlds as well.
No, Milk.
I
I'm
was just
saying
like,
it's not. It's
like-
way less fun if he's not here to defend himself. He has to be able to defend himself, and vice versa. It's way better.
I like
honestly,
this, and I like
Review?
this one-sided not Dish Soap
down.
can't defend himself because last time I think when people held Dish Soap's feet to the fire, I think he won the world championship and got kind of really motivated. So
Okay, I like it.
I
No,
don't
but the thing is, he's good, man. He's good, but he didn't play that set that much. It's not like he didn't play that set.
oh, he's
I wanna shout
in
out-
the hole. It's not even his fault. Bit he flames nonstop for 10 minutes and just says, but it's not his fault. Yeah.
No, I
Robin's
mean,
got a
he
shout
didn't
out.
play, man. Like I'm like the thing is, he's like every rank. Like I don't understand, like potential, or like because then like he's
No,
like,
no,
I think he actually
performance of
played
the
that
set.
well.
But at the end of the day, he didn't play this set that much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and what he did play, like
Rob-
I mean, he won a break, man. So it's probably his worst set since he.
Okay,
like,
Robin,
got
who's your
to it.
shout out?
Oh, I just want to shout out Dish Soap. I don't know if he usually hides his VODs, but he didn't hide his VOD this set. So a lot of people were able to VOD review him and get better. Everyone else hides their VODs. So So shout out to Dish Soap for not. Oh, also, I think one day before. Wait, I think before last day of regionals or something, Dish Soap offered to VOD review with me. But I couldn't because I had to go out. But to Rock coming, but he wanted to VOD review with me, so he was like super nice. Because he knew I had no one to VOD review with.
You didn't take up that offer?
The PP offer?
You
No,
turned it
because
down?
I was busy. But
Oh wow. Okay.
I mean, Milk saying Dish Soap is bad, so maybe if I VOD reviewed them, I wouldn't have-
no. This was a B. Wait, what was this? wait, what patch?
It was the
No,
regionals.
no. Oh. Oh no, but no. The thing is, like, okay. The thing is, I remember rivaling him, and I was talking to him. He's like, I normally don't play Zillion. I'm just like, you have a work and a Twitch, and not only that, but that was like the primary opener, like the best opener in the game for like many patches. And I'm just like, ain't no way. Yeah.
All right.
Frost
If people who
opener?
don't know what
Oh, so-
Milk's mumbling about, I'm just gonna cut you off there. He's talking about that.
Okay,
He
but the
watched
thing
some
is,
of
don't
his
get me
early
wrong.
game.
Bishop is probably the NA GOAT. Yeah.
We'll have that debate later. I can't wait.
All right.
Oh wait, there. Oh.
Number 4, I'm gonna push us along here, is Wage Iverson, who also had a stellar tournament. He actually was like sort of inverse of Dish Soap in some ways. Dish Soap was only gonna care about snapshots going to regionals. Wage said he's gonna try to earn his way through. Pretty impressive result, because Wage said that he was just too burnt out on ladders, so he needs to just prove it in tournaments. And that actually rarely works out, by the way. A lot of players say that, oh, I'm just gonna go for tournaments. Like Soju, for example, does that, and it's hit or miss. He makes it like 40-50% of the time. And Wei not only did that, he almost got to Worlds again anyways, both off of Final Lobby and QP simultaneously. So he's rated still really high. And he's just been proving it set after his first appearance in set 8. And I mean, at this point, there's just no question where he belongs.
I mean, look at his rankings since we've been doing the overalls. 7, 6, 4, 3, 2. What a beast. He's so consistently good at TFT.
Yeah. And I think he's also very quietly becoming sort of like the tech god. I think one thing that Weijin knows is that I know Dish Soap knows a lot of lines, but I used to think Dish Soap was kind of like maybe the number one person of like knowing all that stuff. I'm pretty sure Weijin is like the guy that knows every line.
Yeah, I would say that Weijin peddles tech and Dish Soap knows lines.
Okay, fair enough. That could be an interesting distinction. But like what I'm trying to, I think I was dancing around that, but I think that might be a better way to summarize it. But
Yeah, no,
Weijin is like
yeah, that's exactly
huge
no, that's
treasure
exactly. I
trove.
mean, I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay. I don't really think much needs more to be said, man. It's just a
No.
great set. I'm
Great.
sorry
and we're
you
gonna
missed.
cover him at length later.
Yes. Okay.
Well, everyone at the top actually will cover at length
Yeah.
later.
Oh, can I do something?
Go
Like, let's
Go
just say Mortog decides
ahead. Okay.
to balance prismatic orbs, and the orbs are created equal. He'd be at Worlds, he might be ranked a little higher. Yeah, but those
Okay.
orbs,
Maybe. Maybe.
I don't know.
He got screwed. He got screwed.
What,
Like,
what
like
happened?
how he just get dropped the orbs, and then I was looking at it, he's dead. He's dead.
Wait, what happened? What did he get dropped out of the prismatic orb?
Double,
got-
double golden Nico when he's playing.
Double
Army.
Nico, but that's like it's probably much worse than you think.
Yeah, I mean, it can be good and
Also, it's drilling Ari, so it's like.
yeah, it's like really bad. That's why.
But even if you're
really-
playing like 4 cost, like it's
But that's part of T. Yeah, fair enough.
That's just you're right.
Part
You're
of
right.
TFT
He
is
got
very in
screwed.
swings like
He
that.
got screwed.
But
in
that's
that
tough.
last game.
That's tough because you can't do anything about it.
Either way, he didn't have as impressive set as number 3, which is Robinsongz. Robin, third, kind of reclaiming. For a while, you kind of were hovering in this like middle zone. This is your best set in, I mean, basically since set 5. How do you feel reflecting upon set 12?
Yeah, I mean, I feel great. I mean, I didn't expect to do well. I didn't expect to. Yeah, I didn't expect to do well because I've been doing like mediocre for like. Yeah, all those sets. I think the second place at Tactician Cup 2 was my first like tournament-ish top 4 in a long time. So I don't even know how I won regionals, but I just played. I just took it. I took it like day by day or like game by game, and it just like happened.
Yeah. Do you feel like there's been, let me back up. There's been conversations about how some people who've been around for a long time, the game is sort of passing them by because it's all about the new, like Wage and Iverson come back past few sets, replay, right? And then people have been around for a long time. You've functionally been here since the beginning, and they said like they pass it by. Do you feel like that's true? Do you feel like things have just kind of been bad variants for you in other sets? Do you feel like you've done a meaningful amount to improve yourself? Like I kind of want to understand the journey of how to get back here, because some players might be in a similar boat. They've been around for a while, but they just never really come back. How did you come back?
Yeah, I talked about this before, but I think just improving on like IRL stuff helped me a lot. I do think,
like
yeah,
sleeping OP, you mean?
Yeah, sleeping's OP, working out is OP. Not like I know Soju does 24 hours, but like I actually think 24 hours makes you worse. You should probably do like 8 hours, like a regular work schedule. And then I don't really like talk. I don't have a study group. My study group died this set, so I don't really talk TFT that much, and I don't really bother you that much. But I think just like the IRL mental stuff helped me a lot, and I do think people are passing by because like I think it's getting harder and harder every set. It was really easy in like set 3, set 4, set 5. But now there's like the game is so popular now, like so many study groups. Like Showtime got rank 1. Like Showtime is passing me up.
Oh wow.
Like because he's in a study group with like Weijin, replay, all that, right? So like, dude, I hit up Showtime for some tips because he was rank 1, and I mean he just gave me like he like bot reviewed it. He gave me a list of stuff.
What a homie! He just gave you the whole tech download.
Wait,
Yeah,
Showtime
like,
also taught us how to play the game as well.
Wow, what a good guy. Someone say something nice about Showtime then, because he only ever gets flamed. The last words about Showtime on the show has to be nice.
I mean, I think he's the new President when he was.
He's definitely like the president of their group, I think, for sure.
What does that, what does that even mean?
No, like
a guy that gets like bullied a lot.
That means you think he has potential, though.
But he has
it's
potential.
Like Pokemon. It's like a Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard. Okay, so Setsuko's Charizard. President right now is Charmeleon, and then Showtime is Charmander. and then it's like like Showtime is hit rank 1, and he's soon to become the player that like is like perma like top 10 and then like wins some tournaments. And then President is like gonna evolve into Setsuko when he starts winning tournaments. Yeah, it's like a.
I see.
Yeah, Showtime is.
I see. So
Showtime
who's Charizard EX is what I want to know.
Charizard EX is
Robin, because no one's won 2 regionals.
Yeah, it's me, Charizard
That's
EX.
right.
Yeah, been
That's
here
right.
down
Boom.
time. Mega Charizard. Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm proud of what I did this set. I don't think I changed anything crazy in terms of like studying and stuff.
Yeah.
But just IRL.
Okay.
Probably. Maybe I high rolled too. So
Robin, I'm gonna save all my thoughts about you for later when we do the historic ranking. But I'm curious. Do you think that the game has moved more in your favor? Like, do you think that like the style of TFT that is rewarded in TFT today is more in line with your strengths as a player than it was like sets 6 and before?
I think it's like kind of net neutral. I think it's kind of neutral actually, because I think committing on 2-1 buffs me, but I think I take a lot of wrong augments sometimes. And also, I think you need to. I mean, I think I think my strength is that like I can learn all the lines, but I think one of my weaknesses is augment selection and taking the proper line on 2-1. But I think once I take like, so there's like
is your weakness specific for augment specifically like picking the wrong one on 2-1 and therefore committing to the wrong line, or is it more like mid game, late game augments you think you pick suboptimally sometimes?
It's more 3-2, 4-2 augment.
Okay.
Like I take the I take the wrong. Yeah, there's like a better option probably.
Why do you think that is? Like, why do you think you're consistently bad at them?
Oh, I don't know. Like a lot of times, like it's a lot of memorization. Like when stats were a thing, memorizing. But it's a lot of things to memorize. Like you have to memorize what is good for a specific comp, I think. And I think a little bit slower. I run out of time before I find out. Before I
But the
search up
skill,
the answers.
Robin, the skill is to pull it up on a second monitor and then type it in really quickly within 15 seconds. And then, whoa. But you have to sort. You have to sort by 3-2 and 4-2. Hold on.
I'm not gonna call. Okay, I'm not gonna. I don't want to call anyone out, but I feel like there actually was a very big edge for people who can play on 2 monitors.
Yep.
Because some people have all the stats. They have Explorer open for every single comp.
Yes.
Wait, you don't do that?
Yes.
No, I don't do that, man.
You have 2 monitors?
No, I have 2 monitors, but I don't have Explorer open for. I have all the filters in for every single comp.
They have
Wait,
bookmark tabs of every pre-filter for every comp in the game.
You can save every comp, right?
Playing in the World Championship versus other players who could not do it.
Yeah.
It is a complete farce.
Not even at Worlds, like even in NA, some people only have a laptop or like 1 monitor.
Like these NA players are gonna like complain like, okay, these CN players like win training, but then they're like, but they can look at stats. All people in CN couldn't. All right. Anyways, sorry.
Yeah.
But the thing is, a lot of times, I'm not actually looking at augment stats because they don't usually know everything. A lot of times, more so like I don't know why, but I just like to look up Trubis in like weird spots.
All right.
Gigabus.
We're getting a little off track here, but I just appreciate it. Anyways, Robin, center back, congratulations. Great set. Really happy for you, man. And I hope that you can keep it up. And I love that your stream is going too. I love that you stream all the tournaments. A lot of people stop doing that. I love that you celebrate. You do the Robin walk. You even do your own DJ sets. You turned 30 something and you did DJ set. That was sick.
Yeah.
I'm really happy for your success, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I should be walking, but yeah.
You should definitely be walking. What do you mean? It's great. You should definitely.
No. It's funny, but like I don't know if I should be walking in a major tournament because actually I don't think it.
No, what are you talking about? You for sure walk. Listen, you're a basketball fan, right? Like the Steph Curry night, you do it. The bigger the stage, the better it is. You own it. You always walk.
Yeah, yes, but I don't want it to affect my placement because like I have to like go to my monitor. I have to cue the music. I have to go to Spotify, cue the music, play, and then I have to get up.
Just cue it late. Just do it right after. It's fine. Chat will let you do it late in tournament. You still gotta do it.
Okay. Yeah.
Amazing. All right, number 2, and I think we could probably do this in tandem because it's just easy since we'll know what happens with number 1. Is we got Spencer, and right next to him, we got Milk at number 1. And this was a unanimous number 1. Milk actually scored 15 across the board because I think everyone understood that Milk had the best set. We can do very quick words on Spencer. So Milk, why don't you talk about Spencer real quick?
Dude, this guy's like, he's actually a beast, man. This guy's played the 100th League of Legends. And somehow is like really good at regional worlds. I don't know how. Like, I mean, he's always been good at the game.
I think Spencer. Yeah, I think he's good at. Yeah, I think the meta was really good for him.
Yeah, but I don't understand like how he's so good when he played League of Legends for like 100 games straight on like regionals week. That actually makes no sense to me. So he's actually like a beast. He just didn't play League of Legends. Like if Soju wasn't a bad influence, sometimes this guy might have won Worlds.
That is true. Imagine maybe Spencer would have if he was just a little bit better, right? I think he was also in contention to make final lobby at Worlds, and I think everyone's kind of like frustrated following Spencer. If you're a fan of Spencer, you also experience frustration because he could be so good, but for some reason he just gets sucked into other things. I mean, we've asked him many times now, so we're beating a dead horse. But Spencer basically says that he has a hard time staying put and focusing on just TFT. Like he needs to kind of play another game while playing TFT. He has like he has the inability to do that. You can diagnose whatever you want, but I think Spencer just generally is not focused on TFT 100%. I'd love to see him do that, but until then, I do think he's never going to live up to his potential.
Never.
I think
for sure.
Spencer is like also one of the OGs, right? OGs, right? Like he's like one of the OG. No, he's like one of the OGs, but he's hella young still. So he started playing so early.
Set 3. I mean, he was the hentai god.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but he's still isn't he still like 21? Like so he started playing.
He's pretty
when he was
young.
like
He's like 22, I think. Yeah, he's like 22.
I mean, it's fun. I guess I'll make my point about Spencer now just because they're side by side and it's kind of apt, but like it's kind of good time. I think Spencer is just diet milk. I've said this for a long time, actually. I
Diet
think
milk.
that, like, yeah, I think that Spencer is like they play the game really similarly. They have really similar strengths. They're both incredible from loss streak. They're both very good at optimizing lines. They're both really good at playing for win out. Like a lot of people are not nearly as good at playing for win out as them.
Honestly, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah.
So
Honestly,
there's like they have a lot in common in their play.
Yeah,
And Milk is
yeah.
always Milk is not at his full potential. Like that very clearly Milk has kind of chosen a work-life balance that works for him, and he's still insane at the game when he does. But
Milk's
Spencer's
pretty capped, actually.
Spencer's even more casual, like relative to his potential. Spencer could be great.
Yeah. But like the thing is, Milk's capped because he has a girlfriend now. So Spencer is playing League of Legends, but for Milk, this is the most that he can probably ever invest moving forward, and he already still is. But Spencer,
Wait, that's not true. That's not true. I can for sure play
Yeah.
8 hours a day.
Yeah, okay, but let's see how that works out for you if you keep doing that.
Huh? I mean, 8 hours? Wait, that's not bad. Like, my girlfriend
Yep.
goes to work. I'm not to do play some TOT.
All right. No, I'm just saying that tongue in cheek. I think this was a great demonstration of why so many times when Soju's on this podcast, he
Yes.
gasses up Milk and says, for
Yes.
me, Milk's number one. He says, yes, everyone can put Disup as their number one. Yes, everyone can put Satsuga as their number one. Weijin is their number one. Replay even as their number one. But for me, Milk is like my goat. He said that many times on this podcast. He always spends the most for him for fantasy. He always puts his money where his mouth is, at least in fantasy draft. There's some people who like legitimately don't know that, and that actually makes me sad. There's a lot of people in chat who even say like, why do we even put up with this Milk guy?
Yeah,
Like he just
that's
yaps so
true.
much. He spreads so much misinformation. He delivers in the worst possible way.
I
and
don't
he
have misinformation. It's just like
he-
a
okay, wait,
He
misunderstood.
circles back. I'm gonna finish. He circles back to the same points over and over. He's extremely negative. He's very combative and very aggressive, and he
Not
just repeats it
aggressive.
over and over. But it's because this guy is really, 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 really good at TFT when he puts his mind to it. And at the end of the day, he knows his shit. He backs it up. He walks the walk. And I think that this was a set where he demonstrated that. And I think it's kind of sad because in set 9, I also think Milk was extremely good at set 9. But I think just a couple of things felt differently. He would have made the set 9 worlds. But then we kind of didn't see him from like 5. Like this is for many people, there's like this 5-set gap. And when a lot of new fans came to TFT, a lot of new fans that came to competitive TFT, they didn't get to see the glory days of Milk, and I think he kind of came back to remind everybody about why.
Not
everyone hyped him
really.
up.
Not really.
He
I mean,
finished,
this
man.
the-
Like my God, like
I'm sorry.
Jeez, like I'm trying
Oh,
to
sorry.
finish here, and then this guy.
Oh, I thought you were done. My bad.
Anyways, congratulations. I think this is a very deserving rank 1, and I hope you do it again. I don't know if you're going to be as motivated because I know you love
Next
set 12.
EWC set.
Okay, so next year.
No,
I
it's
hope
only
you
6
do it
months.
again.
Like, no way. The thing is, this entire set, I'm not even joking. I think is because I played EWC. Because I normally don't read anything or like know what anything does. Like right now, the set, I don't know what a single forecast does. But it's like on patch 1, I already know like what every unit does, and like we played so many games. That's why I think like this set I really didn't play that much like until like regionals. Like the first 3 cups I barely played. Like if you look how many games I have, I don't have that many games. Like I didn't make the first snapshot or the latter snapshots at all until I ended up like the first snapshot because I just like casually played. But like because of EWC, I feel like every single patch, I just looked at every single patch notes and looked at balancing. I just laughed. So I just like already knew like because like I already had a really strong baseline, and like the patch, like every single patch, they're just so far off that like I kind of like already knew what to play.
I think what happened, Milk, is that for most sets of TFT, you've made a decision that you want to keep playing because you love the game and you have great friends that are part of the game, so it's a way of staying connected to them. But it's getting at most, I don't know what it is, 30, 40, 50% of your attention. I don't know exactly what that allocation is, but it's some lower number. It's not anywhere close to 100%, put it that way. And
EWC is 100 though. Like
huh?
we eat,
Yeah,
sleep.
that's exactly
breathe.
my
That was
point.
that was the most fun ever.
Milk, that's exactly my point, man. Is that for these other sets, if you only ever stay at that level, you only get to here. But because for this set, you actually were at 100% effort for a meaningful chunk of time, especially early in a set, you built a foundation that you could then go back on autopilot and still be insanely good at the set. And this is to build on Dan's point exactly why, like when Soju does that ranking, a lot of the time we can all agree that it's like not correct, right? Not objectively correct because you're not currently at that level. But Soju, because he's seen what it looks like when you are even close to 100%, and it often looks like you're literally the best player on the server, it's hard not to put you up there. So just +1. I mean, I know I gave you some shit this episode, but like +1 from everything Dan said for me. You're incredibly good at TFT. And if what Dish Soap did this set was impressive with the amount that he allocated, I triple down on that for you, considering that you won the whole fucking set just because you tried really hard for the first couple of weeks.
Yep. Well said. This is the top 15 in totality. These are the people that we polled and balloted. Thank you everyone who did submit, by the way. Part of it was, a little bit difficult to get actual opinions out here. I like
Wait,
that.
Milk, you ranked Kyun over me?
You ranked Kyun.
How?
Okay, the thing is, that guy was actually pretty good this set. Okay, but the thing about Kyun's playstyle, right, is like, he's one of those players that would like perform about the same against 8 really good players and 8 really bad players, right? So if you're Kyun, you don't want to be playing against like Latin America and Brazil, because like his AVP doesn't change as much as some other people. Like he's like really bad at like noob abusing, right? Like the worst way to play against like these players is like full open and to like win out. That's just a horrible strategy in my opinion. So like for Kyun, if you're Kyun, you want like 8 good players.
He scales against the strength of his opponent.
I do agree. If Kyun was at regionals, he would have done really well, I think.
I thought this set. I picked 2 people to pop off this set from the old school group. I picked Soju and Kyun. I should have picked Robin and Milk, but I picked Soju and Kyun.
How could you?
No, I meant like in
You
terms
also-
of like
you also could have gone for
You only
Spencer.
can make so many bets, right? I'm not gangly. I'm not Iniko. You only can make so many bets. I bet on Soju and Kyun to like do well this set because I thought this set clicked with them fundamentally. I think they're very good at this set, and I still
Wait,
stand by that.
Soju was like, he was doing really well in the beginning. I don't know what happened though. What happened?
Content.
He came back home.
The format broke. I think EWC.
Oh yeah.
I think the problem was Soju enjoys EWC so much. I think that it kind of came. There's a reason why Milk kind of had an ayahuasca trip equivalent when he played 4v4, and now he's completely different. I think Soju kind of had that, but very quietly. Where like I think his view. He talked about this on the podcast when the regionals, but his view on competitive TFT has been forever changed because of the experience of 4v4.
EWC Soju was a demon.
That was a beast. I don't understand. I'm like,
It was a
he's loaded
different
in.
person. It was a
Yeah.
different person. I can't even make fun of him.
Dude, he's actually like always locked in. Like he's like actually like yeah. He actually like really good comms as well. He's good for like the vibes and the mood.
Yeah, he's
And
a
he's
good.
good.
Team. Yeah.
Oh.
Like he's a really good like team player.
Dude, comms are 44 is so fun. Comms are so
no!
fun.
All right. Let's
It's
It's
perfect.
actually
let's
so
wrangle
fun.
it up
La-
here.
Milk's last
like,
thought is about
highs and
44 being
lows, like,
fun.
The-
Since
the-
it come on-
it's fun because like when you win, like when we won, we just stood up and like high-fived each other. Like there was
Yeah.
someone to celebrate with.
Winning in 4v4 feels a lot like winning in like Valorant or League, which is like a big group triumphant moment, and it's very good.
It's also because every game is checkmate, which is like so good for the game. I think, in my opinion, like it's actually
That's
so
the way of
good.
doing it where it doesn't feel artificial. It feels fair.
Yeah,
right?
every game is checkmate, so it feels so fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool.
It's
I
actually,
do,
like, so fun.
agree. The
So fun.
winning as a
What a
team
great
is
format.
Really good.
Yeah.
All right,
But
so
Ryan would never do it,
that's
though.
our top
They don't want to
15.
take the risk.
That is the last of our number ones that we'll ever see. So I want to take a little trip down memory lane. We started off in set 6 with Goobums. We had peak Goobums. In set 7, we had Rainplosion. At set 8, it was World Champion Replay. In set 9, it was Setsuko who put on probably the best performance of a set we'll ever see, raw stats-wise. Set 10 was Malala's actual, like, crazy, like, first.
That's crazy.
In terms of results, I don't think we'll ever see that again. Set 11 was Dish Soap, kind of fulfilling the prophecy and what we know about him. And then we have set 12 Milk. And then we'll start the very important question was who had the best peak or who puts their stamp in TFT history. And that's going to be the next
thought
segment.
about it. I had never really thought about that from this context, but it's fun that like most of the tier, like all the top people actually have their one peak set, right, relative to the others. It's cool.
That's why we do this. That's why we
is.
do this show, Bryce. It's so that
It's
we
great.
can actually look back and reflect upon this.
It's so great.
The
I'm
one
really glad
regret
you
is
did
I
this.
wish that it was kind of a bigger fanfare, right? Because in the Smash Bros community, for example, it's like a really big thing they do this all the time with it, ending rank 1. But I feel like that's never been part of like the community sentiment, unfortunately. And this is the part where I believe we're going to be dropping off Milk.
Yep.
Okay. Wait, can we kind of debate with Mortdog at least for a bit or no?
No
I
shot,
don't
buddy.
think that's
At
good
Milk,
for
if you want to be able to
Mortdog.
debate with Mort, then you need to be able to handle it better when Mort is not on the episode.
Oh,
Because if Mort's on the episode, there's no way he gives you the floor, the level that Dan and I did to actually like say a lot of what was said. And
What do
I'm
you
not
mean?
just the dynamic is going to be very, very different. Milk, you're gonna have your feet held to the fire by someone who has the information to push back sometimes, right? Dan and I don't have. We're not playing.
Wait, I'm not talking to Mortdog.
I know you are. It's not going to be tonight.
Especially about the sets balancing. Like especially
no.
like this
especially not about
entire
that.
set, like every single patch.
We said our piece about it many times. There's no more that needs to be said. Let's focus on the future.
Milk, I like that the last thing you said was about 4v4 and that you love it. That's great.
Oh yeah, 4v4. People buy.
Milk,
All right,
thank you so.
wow.
Oh, wait,
Okay. That's
Milk. If you're still watching, I was just gonna say thanks a lot, man. It's always a treat to have you on. It's very different.
Oh, wait.
He's back.
Oh yeah. Oh. Hello.
I was just gonna say thank you, man. It was
yeah.
like we really appreciate your time, and you're very, very good at TFT, and you're also a very fun guest of this show. It's very different. We know that you haven't wanted to do it for a while, but we appreciate you coming on for the final episode. It
Yep.
meant a lot to have you here.
thank you,
Sorry.
Milk.
Also, I like to say I really appreciate what you did for or like what you do for TFT and like everything. You know, you're quitting and
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
like yeah, you did a lot. I actually like really appreciate it. Yeah, like there's not too many like people in TFT. I don't know how to say it, but you know what I mean.
I do.
You're like you're different than everyone in a really good way, and I appreciate that you're in the community for as long as you were. A lot. People buy.
People buy. Thanks, Milk.
That's well said. That was well said. And I love the intentionality behind that.
You too.
And I think you get a little bit of a glimpse of that's actually a side of Milk that he doesn't show very often publicly, but that's a side of Milk that exists very often. So with that, we are officially done with the second major part of the show. We still have 2.5 more. So hope you guys enjoy that.